Hello and welcome to the Codex Prime Podcast. We are on episode 99 and it is Tuesday, November 21st, 2017. I am your host, Victor Omoyo, and with me as always is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Bird.
What's good, y'all?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The road to episode 100 is almost over.
One more stop. Yeah.
Yes. I know, man. It's like it's been a long but fun journey. Lots of memories on the way. And for those who don't know, if you haven't gotten the memo yet, episode 100 will take place on Saturday, December 2nd, 2017.
Saturday.
Yep, at Rococo's. Well, is it next Saturday?
Yeah, it's next Saturday.
Not this coming Saturday, right?
Not this coming Saturday, next Saturday.
Gotcha, yeah. Saturday, December 2nd, 2017, at Rococo's on 182 Academy Ave from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So please come through, join in on the conversation, and, just have a good time. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So before we start, I have to address this, all right? I wanted to wear my Bullet Club shirt, for the sake that this is a wrestling episode. Mm-hmm. But this weekend, I made a bet to a friend of the show, Darnell from the Party Nerds.
You sure did.
I did. He's a hardcore Eagles fan. Mm-hmm. Myself being a hardcore Dallas Cowboys fan. And he's a bit of a Cowboys trash talker. We don't even play each other, and he's still talking. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? I issued a jersey bet.
Okay.
A jersey bet. So if the Cowboys won, he would have to go on his podcast, which airs later on. Mm-hmm. He would have to wear a Cowboys jersey, and if the Eagles won, I would have to wear an Eagles jersey.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, the Cowboys got spanked.
Naturally.
It wasn't naturally. We fell into some we had a decent first half, and then we fell into some quicksand, and then now it's just it. But I am a man of my word. So here it is. A Brian Dawkins jersey.
It's right there. You see it, people. So right now, Carl is shamefully putting on a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, number 20.
All right.
Yes.
It's on. So for the whole show, I got to rock this Eagles jersey.
That's right, as you should. Now, please tell the people who didn't see the game, what was the score?
Oh, it was like 37-9.
Yeah, 37-9.
It was bad.
It was embarrassing. Very embarrassing. I actually caught the tail end of that game because I was aware of your bet with Darnell, and I was laughing my ass off.
As you should. As you should.
Yeah, so this makes the Dallas Cowboys record, what is it?
5-5.
5-5, so it's dead even. So even number of W's and L's. At this rate, the Cowboys will rack up more L's in their column.
Not at all. For somebody who doesn't watch sports, you talk a lot of shit.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I know I'm appreciative of your passion for a team that hasn't won anything since Bill Clinton was in office. Most fans would have moved on, but you didn't.
But here's the thing. Like, what's up, Jenny? So the thing about that is, like, we're just passionate. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, I'm a lifelong fan, not an established 2001 fan.
Patriots.
You didn't have to say it. See, here you go. Why can't you just let shade be shade? All right, you just ruined it.
I just have to clarify.
They didn't need no clarification. They know.
All right.
So right now, I'm actually getting ready to share this episode onto their page. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is awful. This is so bad. I really hate.
Well, do you need a box of tissues? Do you need?
I'm good.
Do you need a hug?
No, I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll be fine. Like, I'm honoring the bet.
That's good. That's what's up. Well, hey, at least you're not a bandwagoner like some other fans are. So again, I appreciate you staying the course, and hopefully, maybe your team will make the playoffs.
He's watching. He just hit me up saying, Ha 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 ha. Yes.
That's right.
With multiple S's.
And that's Darnell.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Darnell, for tuning in. Yes, as you can see, a lifelong Cowboys fan, shamefully wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. Perhaps he should pick a new team.
Not at all. Never happening.
All right. You say that now. Well, I mean, it's been 20 years, so.
I don't care. It will go for 20 months. Look at the Browns fans, okay?
Oh.
They are winless. As a matter of fact, there is somebody actually getting ready to organize a parade in Cleveland for a perfect season.
Really?
Yes. A winless season.
Wait, so they're organizing a parade.
A parade.
For a
winless season.
Straight losing streak.
A losing streak, yeah.
And they're throwing a parade. Well, I mean, I guess.
Eric, oh my God, my bad. Eric, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess
my boy Eric, shout outs to him. He's a fellow Cowboys fan. We go back since high school. We used to.
Yeah, well, Cowboys Nation taking an L this week. So yeah, that's hilarious to me. Just for those just tuning in, tonight we do have a special guest coming in, the returning guest, Adrian Price, aka the lifelong Roman Reigns fan, and apologist. And we're going to have a debate on whether or not Roman Reigns is the guy. So I'm prepared for the debate. Hopefully he'll bring his A game as well. And tonight we're talking about wrestling. We're going to be covering the NXT TakeOver War Games event from this past Saturday in Houston, Texas, as well as Survivor Series 2017.
That literally was a great weekend in wrestling.
It sure was. It sure was. And we'll also be covering Raw. A couple of big surprises there. So yeah, Carl, besides taking another L, what else have you been up to this past week?
I checked out a new show on Hulu. It's called There's Johnny. It's executive produced by Paul Reiser, who was in Stranger Things. He played I forgot the doctor's name, but
I forget.
Yeah. Oh damn. Guess what? It's gonna hit me like randomly like later on tonight.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it basically tells a story of a young 19-year-old kid named Andy who was from Nebraska, and like the Johnny Carson show, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, excuse me, it was just like a staple in his family.
Yeah.
And he's just fresh out of high school, all that, he needs to find a job. So he writes a letter to the Johnny Carson show, explaining, hey, I would like to get a job, and my family, they're big fans. And then next thing you know, he gets a letter back from the Tonight Show. So he takes a bus all the way to California where the show was filmed, and he ends up getting a job there as a goer, I believe. He's like an errand boy, I believe. I only caught the first episode, so it stars Ian Nelson as Andy, Jane Levy, and Andrew Schultz. They used there's nobody playing Johnny Carson, but they used like archive footage of certain episodes, and then but like when they show like those far shots, you can tell like they have a guy standing there in pretty much the exact outfit. So it's like, yeah, you can't see his face, but you can tell that that's supposed to be Johnny Carson standing in that shot right there. It looks interesting. It's something I'll probably finish up. It's only like 7 to like 25-minute episodes on Hulu.
Okay.
And it's all like available, so you can just binge watch it.
Nice.
Right then and there. So, but it looks good. It looks good. I'll check it out. It's something I can bang out within like a day or two.
Okay.
I also started watching The Punisher.
Oh, okay.
That started Friday.
All right. And we'll be talking a bit more about that on the
100th episode.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into any spoilers, but it's a really good show.
Okay.
It's already been rated. It's already like critics are already saying it's the best Marvel Netflix show.
Really?
Yeah, and it touches a lot on PTSD.
Yeah.
Which I believe is real.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. Yeah.
But like I don't really want to get too much into it. It's basically about Frank Castle. He's basically trying to avenge the death of his family. If you know the backstory of Punisher, Punisher's wife and children were brutally murdered. But then it turns out that it was connected to a hidden conspiracy. So I don't want to get into the conspiracy because what that conspiracy was, because it will end up spoiling for you. But I definitely urge you to check it out.
All right.
Like, especially if you're already like been watching the Marvel Netflix line of shows, with the exception of Iron Fist, because I know you got one. You know you got an Iron Fist joke ready.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if Punisher was as exciting as Iron Fist, but
Put it. I say it's as dark as Jessica Jones, but just as exciting as Daredevil.
okay, nice. I'm really looking forward to that because I really enjoyed a Daredevil season 2 with.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's still in there.
Castle.
He's still the same guy. Still like John Bernthal still knocks it out the park. I haven't even finished it yet. I think I'm on episode 8.
Okay.
7 or 8.
All right, and there's like 12 or 13 episodes.
13 episodes.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it this weekend, but it is in my queue. And yeah, now being the Punisher, since he's like a gun-toting Avenger. Well, not an actual Avenger, but
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
yeah, vigilante. Now, being that the Marvel Netflix series can get pretty dark and violent. How violent is the Punisher?
Graphic.
Ooh, I love it.
Oh, of course you do. You sick.
Okay, yeah. I mean, now, in your opinion, like, how does this on-screen John Bernthal's Punisher compare to past ones like Thomas Jane and Dolph Lundgren or Ray Stevens? And
I can't even say it with a straight face. He murders them all.
nice.
He does.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. I will say that I do have a soft spot for Thomas Jane's Punisher. I thought it was a standard, action movie when it came out. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Eve Ankh says that she loves the darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very dark show.
Okay, I'm
It's
there.
right up your alley. You would have an absolute field day.
Yeah. Okay, you're speaking my language. I like that. So, yeah, I will definitely check out the Punisher. It is in my queue. That does remind me, since we're talking about Punisher, when I mentioned Thomas Jane, there was another like short film that he did like some years after he did the 2004 film. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Dirty Laundry, and I think it's called Dirty Laundry, and it's like a short film with Thomas Jane reprising his role as Frank Castle, and like he's stopping some woman getting assaulted on the street, and he's trying to do his laundry in like this laundromat in this really dingy part of town. And I thought it was pretty interesting. It was like a interesting like proof of concept that Thomas Jane still got it as far as Frank Castle goes. But yeah, that's something for people to check out if they're interested.
I think the only problem with the Punisher is that he's short. And we've already expressed that, but then it's like you get over it.
Oh yeah, once you have like an arsenal, if you're like a one-man armory, it's like height doesn't really matter, does it?
All right, Kyle Chapman's here, and he's probably took about 4 screenshots already. I'm willing to guarantee he's petty.
Oh man, the petty party is continuing.
It's gone. It's on.
Yeah,
It's on. Kyle is on. He is. Damn.
yes. Yes, the petty party for NFL fans continues. I love it. Yes. Now,
just for the record, too, there are other bets. Like, shout outs to my homegirl, LaShonda. She had to wear the Eagles hat to work all day because we're boss.
Oh, wow. And she's a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That must have been depressing for her.
Oh, yeah, she was done. I'm not standing up. You missed it, Kyle.
I think you should stand up. Just
No,
for Kyle.
Because I know him. I know him, and he's petty.
See, you're not giving the fans what they want, Carl.
He missed it.
Carl.
This is good. Shut up.
Well, I'm sure that there will be screenshots circulating on the Facebooks and interwebs. But yeah, anything else on your plate?
I saw Justice League, but like you said, we can. We're actually going to discuss that on next week.
Yep.
At our Codex 100 at Rock Cocos.
Yep. Yes, we did see Justice League, and I won't get into any details or any spoilers, but I will say because we'll review it on Codex 100. It's not as awful or as unwatchable as Batman vs Superman or Suicide Squad, but saying that doesn't say much. It's like saying that getting punched in the face is preferable to getting kicked in the balls. And that's my take on Justice League. As a matter of fact, Apparently, I think the budget of the film was close to $300 million or around that. And apparently, this past weekend, Justice League only grossed 93.8 million domestically against a $300 million budget. So that is a massive, massive failure domestically, but it did gross 185 million internationally. So it grossed so far 278 million, which is still underneath their budget. So yeah, the word of mouth has been rather mixed at best. And like I said, I'll get into more. We'll get into more details for episode 100. But I will say,
Why'd you have to say my name like that?
Oh, wow. He apparently somebody posted a GIF of.
Shout outs to Eve.
Yeah, Eve posted a GIF of Carl from The Walking Dead.
From the Carl Papa video.
Yup. So yeah.
No, I'm not singing. I'm not singing "Fly Eagles Fly," Kyle. That was actually for another bet.
Oh wow.
And I paid my debt. It was a Snapchat bet, so that wasn't going. It's gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. But yeah, I will say for any DC fans hoping for something as good as Wonder Woman, Justice League, unfortunately, in my view, is not it. But as far as what I've been up to, I've been, catching up on some graphic novels here and there. In fact, I, as promised 2 weeks ago, I did say I was going to, give my brief take on this graphic novel, which you talked about, Son of Shaolin, which is published by Image Comics. And this is created by Jay Longino. And this is also art by Kanan White. And this is a really dope book, Carl, man.
Told you.
Yeah, this is a book one, the beginning. I don't know if it was published in single issues or if this is like the only publication of Son of Shaolin.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah,
It was recommended to us by Reagan, and that's exactly how I got it.
Yeah,
so I never even bothered to ask him if there were single issues. But now if I got the first single issue, then I would continue getting the single issues. But since I just have the trade paperback, that's exactly how I'm just gonna keep reading them.
Oh yeah. And this is a really dope book, man. It's about this aspiring street artist named Kyrie, and he's living in New York City, and he's trying to make ends meet for himself, trying to come up in the world of tagging and graffiti art. And then he suddenly comes across this man named Master Fong, who tells him that he is the last descendant of a group of ancient Shaolin monks, and he has the mark of the tiger. And apparently, there's some sort of evil killer baddie out there called the Red Fist, who's been slaughtering the last descendants of the other Shaolin elders to assume their powers, to assume their elements, if you will.
Badass too, by the way.
He is, and it's up to Master Fong to train Kyrie so he can prepare to battle Red Fist and put an end to that threat once and for all. Now, the artwork is dope, very vibrant, full of energy, and the colors really pop. From the seedy underbelly of the New York neighborhoods to the well drawn and staged fight scenes as depicted in this book. And what I liked about this, what I liked about Son of Shaolin, is that another Fly Eagles Fly meme.
Yeah.
What I like about Son of Shaolin is that it's on the surface, it does have a sort of a cliched storyline, but it goes into some very unexpected directions. So it provides a genuinely fresh take on an otherwise tried and true narrative, and the way it ends and the way everything wraps up, I can't wait for book 2.
And, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so for those who are fans of hip hop culture and kung fu or both, and just really good action and comic books and graphic novels, definitely pick up Son of Shaolin. It's published by Image Comics. Book 1 is out now,
and it's already being picked. It is already picked up by $7 Productions, The Rock's production company. So expect that movie to be made soon. Hopefully, it won't go into any developmental hell and actually be casted right. Because now I want to see it.
Yeah,
like I'm officially a fan. I'm officially a fan of the series. I want to see it.
Yeah, man. And hey, who knows? Maybe The Rock can let Tyrese have a part in it. Oh man, but I've also been reading another Image graphic novel series, and this is the first three volumes of Rat Queens, which is a pretty dope book, pretty dope series of graphic novels here from the Image Shadowline production label, and that's created and written and created by Curtis Wiebe, and it's like a dark fantasy slash comedic tale of four women who are four heroes or mercenaries for hire, and they're going around this fictional fantasy town of Palisade, and they're trying to get rid of various supernatural threats here and there, and while trying to maintain their sisterly bond, their camaraderie. And it follows four main characters. You have Hannah, who's a foul-mouthed elf slash demon mage. And then you have Violet, who's a hipster, bearded dwarfen warrior. Yes, she is a bearded lady. And yes, main part is Av. And we have Dee, who's a mage and cleric, and she's a former cultist of this backwoods swamp cult, and they kind of worship this Cthulhu-like Lovecraftian monster. And she's a bit of an atheist slash or agnostic. She's not sure about how she feels about her own religion, and she escaped her, or not escaped, but rather left her cult to try to, make some sense in the world, try to take a claim for herself and, her beliefs. And then you have, Betty, who rounds out the Fabulous Four, and she's a halfling thief whose speciality is bags filled with drugs and candy, which we all love and enjoy to varying degrees.
Drugs or candy?
Both. And
you learn something about somebody every day, huh?
Well, hey, I mean, I'm just just trying to provide a little colorful a summary of Rat Queens. Not that I partake in drugs and candy, Although I will say that one time I did try this weed marijuana edible, and it was kind of like a Jolly Rancher.
Nuh-uh, you really did.
I did.
I am not. I'm shocked.
I did. I swear to goodness. I swear by the old gods and
Victor had an edible.
I did.
Get the fuck out of here.
I did. I swear by the old gods and the new. I had an edible. It was kind of like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, but it kind of tasted a little plain to me.
I can't wait to see the feed now. Yep, here we go. It's starting.
I really did, and but it's not. I will say in my personal experience that edible did not live up to the hype. I thought it tasted rather plain and watery. I expected a little more pop, a little more strength, a little more oomph behind that weed edible, and I was like, this is kind of to me. I didn't feel any effects whatsoever, and then I just spit it out after 5
so you
minutes.
didn't eat it?
Nah, I just had a little taste.
You had a taste.
Yeah, so it wasn't all that to me, but although I am curious about trying a weed brownie, I never had a weed brownie before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never had a weed brownie.
I can have that arranged.
All right, arrange it, Carl. Maybe for 100. Nah, I'm just kidding. But but yes, Rat Queens. That was a little aside there. Rat Queens. I do recommend it. There's 4 volumes out. I have the first 3. Volume 1 is Sass and Sorcery. Volume 2 is the far-reaching tentacles of Nrygoth, which is Dee's Cthulhu god that her team worshipped. Her group. And volume 3 is entitled Demons, which has a very good storyline with Hannah, the main character. So yes, Rat Queens, check that out if you're in a mood for some really awesome graphic novels from Image Comics.
Who's this particular character?
That is Dee.
Yeah, Eve said she owns.
Oh yes, she absolutely does. And her storyline is very interesting.
I would like to see a Dee cosplay.
I would too, actually. I would love to see some Rat Queens cosplays out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some out there. I haven't seen any at Comic-Con, but if there are any professional cosplayers out there or amateur enthusiasts, hey, and if you're a fan of Rat Queens, let us know, and let's see what you can put down. Yeah. So besides that, that's been pretty much it on my end. Just trying to catch up on some movies this week, especially with Thanksgiving coming up.
There's one movie that's not Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Yeah,
did that come out yet?
Not yet. I think it's coming out tomorrow. I know it's coming out this week. I think it's coming out as early as tomorrow.
And there was another movie that I caught it. I caught the trailer on Netflix before I watched Punisher.
Yeah.
It was like Mudbound.
Oh yes, Mudbound. Yes, I did see that.
Yeah,
this past weekend.
when I saw the trailer, like you were the first person that popped in mind. Like, what did you think?
Mudbound was very good. Mudbound, it's a new film on Netflix. It's directed by Dee Rees, and she was a director of the 2011 film Pariah, which I think is also on Netflix. And it's a really good story. It's about these two families, one black and one white, and they're living in I believe it's in Mississippi. Yeah, they're living in Mississippi, and it takes place in World War II, and both families relatives. The black family's son, who's played by Jason Mitchell, who played Eazy-E.
Eazy-E, yeah.
Yep, straight out of Compton. He goes off to war.
It took me a little bit to to recognize him.
Yeah, and I forget the. I know Jason Isaacs and Carey Mulligan. They also starred in it. They played the white family, and Jason Isaacs' character's younger brother, also goes off to war, and the film depicts like their experiences abroad, fighting the good fight, and also what both families go through in Mississippi while their sons are away. And the film also deals with the two relatives, the black family's son and Jason Isaacs' character's brother, coming back to Mississippi and trying to readjust to civilian life. And they both bond, they based on their shared experiences in the war. And it's a very good film. It's filled with great performances. I forget. Oh my gosh, I forget the father, Jason Mitchell's character's father. He plays Turk in the Marvel Netflix series. I forget the actor's name, but he plays Turk in Luke Cage, Daredevil, and
Punisher.
He
has a short role in Punisher.
Yep, Jessica Jones. He's very good in this, and I think he should get some recognition for his very somber, very subtle performance. Mary J. Blige also plays his wife.
Yeah, how was her performance?
She was very good. In fact, she's actually getting some awards buzz early.
Really?
Yeah, and I can see it. I mean, I think her performance is rather understated, and she plays the wife who's rather trying to keep her head above water and trying to keep the family unit afloat. And then you have Jason Isaacs, who plays this guy who's trying to run his farm and run the land that Jason Mitchell's family is working on. And he's kind of like, he means well, but he's also pretty damn inconsiderate and very self-serving. And he's just trying to, keep his own head above water at the expense of this other family. And Carey Mulligan plays his wife, who's basically like, she's at her wit's end all the time. And also Jonathan Banks plays Jason Isaacs' character's father, who's a complete racist douchebag dickhead.
There's always one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and being that it takes place in the 1940s, yeah, you know exactly where his character goes. And he also famously played Mike Ehrmantraut on Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Mudbound, it's a very good drama. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes long, but it's well worth it. It has been receiving a lot of strong buzz before it debuted on Netflix last Friday, and it's also one of the most well-reviewed films this year, and it's definitely worth watching. I will say that being that it is a Netflix release, I don't think that the major awards circles would give it the recognition that it deserves because it's not a theatrical release. But I think that mode of thinking should be cast by the wayside because you're going to have a lot of great future classic films that'll bypass the theatrical system. So if you're going to avoid, giving great films their due props just because they appeared on Netflix or any other streaming platform, then yeah, you're missing out on some great stuff. And Mudbound is well worth it. Yeah, so that's my hot take on that.
Eve wants to know what are our thoughts on Billy Russo, who was Prince Caspian in Narnia. I never seen Narnia.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't seen any of the Narnia films.
My bad, Eve.
Yeah, sorry, Eve. And I haven't read the book that it's based on, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, but I hear it's a beloved classic. Yeah. Anything else? Do we have anything else?
So Grande, shout outs to Grande. He's saying that Adrian loses by default for a no show. Adrian's on his way.
Yes. Yes, he should be popping in around 7. Apparently, he believes
Scheduling conflict.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I
but
hate this damn jersey.
it looks good.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. What I've been up to on my end. Let's get into some wrestle talk right now. We can get into some NXT TakeOver.
Let's get it.
Yes. So yes, this past Saturday, we had NXT TakeOver War Games, which took place in Houston, Texas, and this was the return of the War Games match, which was an original concept in WCW created by
Dusty Rhodes.
Yep, the late great American Dream.
Kind of have to say it like him. You got to say War Games, with the list that he always had.
Yeah, War Games, baby, if you will. Yes, and for those who are unfamiliar with the concept, War Games is where you have two rings joined together, surrounded by a steel cage, and they made one change to the original War Games concept, where the cage does not have a roof this time, and the reason for that, I mean, is because Triple H wanted he removed the cage so that people can jump off it, basically, so they can do some spots off the top.
Yeah, and I mean that was literally my only complaint about that, because I grew up, watching War Games.
Yeah,
and it was just like I wanted to see the exact same thing. But I mean, honestly, yeah, it was pretty dope.
It
It
was.
was a dope match. Like I gave I have my ratings right here. If you want to go down the list, let's go.
Yeah, well, so we'll start from the opening match all the way to the main event. So we'll begin with the first match that opened up War Games. We had Lars Sullivan versus Cassius Ohno, aka the former Chris Hero. Yeah, and this was a decent opener. This is building up Lars Sullivan, who's like this mean mugging faced monster among the NXT roster. He kind of looks like. He kind of reminds me of like an extra from Mad Max Fury Road for some reason. He kind of reminds me of Nathan Jones a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just bigger,
Just
just a little more like bigger and wider.
bigger and wider, and his face kind of looks something like George the Animal Steel, kind of like he could be like his son.
Yeah, just like a mutantly genetically enhanced.
Yeah. And like it was a pretty hard hitting bout. This match was designed to kind of build Sullivan as a monster or runaway freight train who's still undefeated. But Cassius Ohno gave him hell, gave him a lot of stiff forearms during the match.
Pretty much what he's known for.
Yep. And at the end, Lars Sullivan overpowered the man, pinned him 1, 2, 3, and his reign continues. What's that?
They want me to stand up so bad.
Yes.
One person wants me to do a Harlem Shake.
Yes, Carl, for the people, please, I urge you, stand up and proudly display the Eagles jersey.
They missed it.
No,
They missed it.
You got to do it, Carl. You got to do it. The chat wants you to do it.
Yeah, it's actually frozen.
Is it frozen?
Yeah, somebody just commented that I was frozen. Well, I guess Afton can see it.
Yes.
I ain't doing no Harlem Shake though, but yeah.
Yes. So Carl is currently standing up. Yep. As you can see, for those whose feed isn't frozen. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's right.
did.
That's right. He
They already
turned
got it.
around.
All right.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. So yes, he is still wearing the jersey. And
Told you I have to. Wow, these lights they just blew up.
we got to see a like, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much, people. So yes, Sullivan's dominance continues.
Somebody missed it. It freezes. What the hell's up with your Wi-Fi? It keeps freezing.
I don't know why. Yeah, it must be something on my end or something on other people's end as well. It kind of depends on your connection, I guess. But yeah. Big shout outs to Afton for dropping by earlier before we began our episode. She did take 2 pictures of Carl in the jersey, so the picture is available upon request.
Oh yeah, they already got the screenshots are already.
Oh, Kyle
got a screenshot in.
Yes, that's what's up. Good work, Kyle. Good work. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this opening match?
I thought it was good. It was a nice opener. I gave it 3.5 stars. Mm-hmm. But that's something expected for an opener.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and hopefully Cassius Ohno can continue to rise above the ranks.
I see NXT going around his waist.
Yeah, and I think he was a former tag team partner, right, with Cesaro, the Kings of Wrestling, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hey, who knows? Maybe they'll have a program in the future. The next match after this, after the opener, this was actually my favorite match of the night.
Really?
It really was, and that's saying something because the rest of the card was hot fire. But the next match was my favorite of the night for NXT TakeOver War Games, and it was Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. I thought this was an awesome match. I mean, I know that you're not a fan.
No, I'm gonna let you finish. No, finish your thoughts,
Okay.
and then I'll go.
This match, this whole match, Aleister Black, he's basically this brooding, undefeated badass, and this whole feud started when Velveteen Dream tried to, get Black's attention. He was trying to, with his little kooky antics, he was trying to get Velveteen Dream was trying to get Aleister Black to say his name. And all the while, for the past several weeks, Aleister Black would ignore Velveteen Dream. And so it led all the way up to this match. And I gotta give all due respect to Patrick Clark, aka the Velveteen Dream, because he showed and proved this past Saturday. In fact, I really liked the fact that he came out with the airbrush tights with Aleister Black's face on one leg and his face on the other. So it's kind of like channeling the late great Ravishing Rick Rude. So that was a nice touch.
Honestly, he's just having fun with the gifts. They'll send me a big ass twerk gift.
Yeah,
but I'm not a fan of the Velveteen Dreams, his name or the gimmick. Mm-hmm. But the dude can throw down like his special move, the DDT that he has. I forgot do you know the name of it?
I don't know the name of it. Yeah, he had an ill DDT.
Shit was dope.
Yeah, for some I guess he went for Aleister Black went for a lariat, and then Velveteen Dream counter. He just reached over on some Matrix shit.
Yeah, just completely flipped and boom, just hit him with a drilling DDT. I'm like, oh shh. Even Aleister Black was standing on his head for a second or two.
Yeah, he kind of sold it like Rob Van Dam would sell a DDT. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was standing right on top of his head for 2 seconds. But yeah, they had excellent chemistry in the ring. And what I loved about it too was there was one point where Aleister Black, he did his trademark sit down cross-legged Indian style sit down pose, and then Velveteen Dream responded by sitting down in front of him doing the same pose, and then Aleister Black responded by doing Velveteen Dream's pose laying down like he was some sort of saucy model. And I thought that was hilarious. And I also will say that Velveteen Dream has, in my view, the second best elbow drop in the business. He didn't have a chance. Currently.
No, I wouldn't even.
Well, because Kairi Sane has the best elbow drop.
Oh yeah.
Then because Patrick Clark, he didn't have a chance to hit it properly on Saturday, but his elbow drop, which he calls the Purple Rainmaker. Shoutouts to Prince. I don't know, he managed to get a lot of height off the top rope. He's fairly tall. And yeah, he's a tall dude.
Yeah, you wouldn't think somebody that tall would be able to get that much height, but
yeah, he's got ups. And but I believe he was also a former Tough Enough winner as well, Patrick Clark.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think he won I think it was maybe the last season or one of the final seasons of Tough Enough. He won the either he won or he was a contestant. But
I thought he was a contestant.
Yeah,
Tough Enough winners don't last long.
They really don't. Yeah,
I think probably the most prosperous one was John Morrison, and he wasn't. No, was he a winner? He did win.
I think it was John Morrison and The Miz.
The Miz never won, but he was a contender.
Ah, okay, yeah. But yeah, man, that match was awesome. It ended with
Gee, he's only 22.
yeah, like Velveteen Dream. He's only 22, and the sky's the limit for him. Like he's got tremendous talent. I think he already has like wrestling experience before. I think he was on the indie circuit for a while.
Oh yeah.
And the match ended with Aleister Black administering his roundhouse spin kick, the Black Mass, right on Velveteen Dream's Chrome Dome, pinned him 1-2-3. And after the match, it was a nice cherry on top. He said, "Enjoy infamy, Velveteen Dream." So Aleister Black did say his name, and the crowd just went nuts. They were actually cheering for Dream throughout the match.
Yeah.
You know, they were even chanting like with the New Day chant, like "Say his name, say."
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
So yeah, Patrick Clark, he was a contestant in the 6th season of Tough Enough, and then he was one of the favorites, but yeah, he was eliminated in the 5th episode due to perceived lack of humility, placing him in 9th overall in the series.
Okay, I gotcha. But yeah, you know, I mean, I will say, you know, getting to your point, Carl. At first, I was very skeptical about the Velveteen Dream gimmick because it's like he's clearly channeling Prince.
Yeah, like a little too much. I'm like, I don't. It's like he's trying to be like a Black Goldust too, in a way.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yo, this dude's talented. Who can possibly make main event? He can make it to the main event with his talent, but it's like with that gimmick, he'll probably just be mid card at best. He'll just be at the mid card.
Yeah, I mean, Vince being Vince, he'll probably just put him as like a comedy act.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but he's so much more than that, and like he makes the gimmick work. Like, anybody, it's not easy work channeling Prince and then bits of Jimi Hendrix too with the purple aesthetic. So props to him. So hopefully we'll see more from Velveteen Dream, aka Patrick Clark, in the future. He definitely has a lot of potential, and Aleister Black too. I think he's well on his way to becoming NXT champion one day.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.5 stars.
Oh yeah, very good match. And then we had the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship, which was vacated by Asuka back in August when she had her collarbone injury and was promoted to the main roster. We had Ember Moon versus Kairi Sane, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross. This was a dope match.
It was. I was going for Ember Moon. Like the whole time. I had a feeling because Peyton Royce is she's getting over pretty well.
She is. Her and Billie Kay.
Yeah, so I'm like, they'll probably do it. And I thought that they were actually going to give it to Kairi Sane, for winning the Mae Young Classic. She's very popular as well. And she has, like we can't stress enough, probably the most beautiful elbow drop in the game today.
Yep.
So, I mean, I thought they were just going to give it to her. I thought they was going to give it to her just based off of that. But, nah, my girl Ember Moon prevailed.
Yeah, absolutely. Like she hit her signature move, the Eclipse, which is the top rope stunner, and she hit a double Eclipse when she stunned both Nikki Cross and Peyton Royce.
At the end. I mean, Kyle didn't agree to it. He felt that it was lackluster and he wasn't too big on it. I mean, Afton was like, yo, those chicks were badass.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it was definitely the right call for Ember Moon to finally capture the Women's Championship.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then at the end where Asuka was present, and she presented Ember Moon with the title, which I just just a huge class act, and I love that moment.
Oh yeah, me too. It's like the passing of the torch, if you will.
Yeah.
So Ember Moon, she's like the next dominant force in the NXT Women's division, as she should be, because she's immensely talented and very likable too. And I like her gimmick too. It kind of reminds me of she's got to be like a Bloodborne Dark Souls fan, because I could see like parts of her gimmick like inspired by like the From Software games, especially like the whole Ember like fire gimmick, which is from Dark Souls 3. So if she is a fan or is not a fan, I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
Yeah, she is a game. She is definitely a gamer.
Yeah. Yep.
Krogan Shake episode of Up, Down, Down.
Oh, that was great. But yeah,
But she cheated though.
Oh yeah, because she never drank the Krogan Shake.
No, it was microtransactions.
Oh wow! See, microtransactions are
said
awful.
it at the end of the video. You the one who showed me the video.
That's right. She did say that.
And she said at the end, she's like, I bought all the weapons and yada yada, and then Kofi was just gave her that look and be like, yeah, I drunk that shit.
Yup. But yeah, big ups to Ember Moon winning in her home state of Texas. She is from Dallas.
Yeah.
And definitely the right move. Kairi Sane, she'll definitely be another contender for the women's championship. It's
Is
better.
the Eclipse? Is the remove the Eclipse outlawed?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Kyle just asked that because of the legit injury on Asuka.
Oh no. I don't know if Asuka got that injury from that move, but no, I don't believe it's outlawed. I know that, believe it or not, like a fun fact, like when she was in the Indies, Ember Moon, the original name for her Eclipse finisher was called the O Face. Wouldn't fly in the PG era, but the Eclipse is a better fitting name.
Yeah.
And Kairi Sane, like I said, she's better chasing the gold, so she'll get it one day. And Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, man, they're getting over with the crowd majorly.
Oh yeah.
And I like Peyton Royce's Poison Ivy type gimmick too. And Nikki Cross, man, like she looks like she's been training in bar fighting her whole life. Like she's crazy and wild.
Bro, she's part of Sanity.
Yeah.
So I mean, there you go.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe she definitely has some potential too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not discrediting that.
Absolutely. So what was your rating for the women's Fatal 4-Way match?
I gave it a 3.5.
3.5. Okay, that's fair.
Like there was a lot of great spots in it, but I was still kind of like, I was easily distracted by other things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm like, if it didn't really keep my attention as much
Yeah.
as some of the other matches, but I still thought it was a dope match, especially like the ending when she hits the double stunner.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, big ups to Ember Moon.
And of course, Kyrie did her
Yep.
beautiful elbow drop.
Yep. Oh yes. And
Adrian's outside. I'll go get him.
yep, Adrian's outside right now. So as he's out there, I'll cover the other matches on the card here. As Adrian is coming up, the next match on the NXT War Games event was the NXT Championship match, where we had Drew McIntyre, the defending champion, facing up against Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega as his manager. And this was a very good contest. And Drew McIntyre, he previously beat Bobby Roode 4 months ago to win the NXT Championship. And I will say that I'm very glad to see Drew McIntyre back, although towards the end of the match, he did sustain a bicep tear. And so he may be out for the next 3 to 6 months, which is very unfortunate because Drew McIntyre regained a lot of momentum coming back to the NXT, back to the WWE, and hopefully we'll see him back soon. But yeah, his match with Andrade Cien Almas was very good. They both had a very good back and forth, hard hitting match. There was a couple of spots in the contest where Zelina Vega tried to interfere. There was one spot earlier where she tried to hit a Hurricane Rana on Drew McIntyre outside the ring, where she caught him in the head scissors, and midway through her swing, Drew McIntyre just grabbed her and just placed her right on top of the apron, like feet first, like she didn't even hit it. So it was kind of like the Hurricane Rana attempt was like rewound in real time. So I thought that was pretty dope. Andrade Cien Almas, I will also say, is a really good story in how one wrestler in particular can be improved. In that, when Andrade Cien Almas first made his debut back in January, I think it was January of last year. Hey man, what's going on? Okay, we'll table that for a moment.
No, we can. I want to do what you want to do. I want to do what you want to do. I just wanted to give you the right entrance music for me.
Welcome, Adrian, sir.
Hello, Victor.
Yes, welcome back to the
nice CM Punk sweatshirt.
Adrian just walked in with the Roman Reigns entrance theme. He's got the Roman Empire T-shirt on. Yes.
I had to pick the right one that I thought would. I was gonna wear the Shield one, but this isn't a Shield debate.
Okay.
But,
Yes.
Continue what you're doing. I'm gonna get people.
Oh yes. Right now we're
Welcome, Admin A.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah. Right now we're just covering NXT Takeover War Games, and right now I'm just talking about the Drew McIntyre Cien Almas match for the NXT Championship.
It was dope. I gave it 4 stars. I gave it a 4.
Go.
Yeah, and I was saying when you walked in that Andrade Almas, he's definitely an example of of a superstar who actually came in, started on a rough foot, but then managed to improve over time. Because when he first came in, he was like a baby face, and it really didn't seem right for him. And like, you know, his matches were kind of slow going, were kind of like started off on the wrong foot. But then once he linked up with Zelina Vega, his stock started to.
Vega.
Oh yeah, great heel manager. Like his stock started to build and build as the weeks went on, and he started to improve in his matches with a lot of high profile matches with other NXT competitors. And to see him, you know, going from where he started in NXT to being the champion now, when he defeated Drew McIntyre for the championship, it's definitely an awesome improvement. And I'm really glad that. Andrade Almas, you know, improved and has become the new NXT champion. Although, like I said, like I was explaining to our viewers earlier when you stepped out, Drew McIntyre did sustain a bicep tear injury.
He was just about to get called up too.
Yeah,
he was literally about to get called up, and that's the worst news ever.
Yeah, so
usually how it happens too. Pedro Alvarez says you got the wrong shirt, by the way.
Yeah, I already see what's about to happen. I'm inviting people for you, not for me. These are people who are going to help you out. My friends don't like Roman Reigns like that, but it's okay.
All right, one versus all, as the slogan say. Okay, but yeah, Andrade Cien Almas, big shouts to him. He did hit his hammerlock DDT finisher for the 1-2-3. So yeah, I'm glad that he's coming up. The former La Sombra, former leader of the Los Ingobernables. Mm-hmm. Yep, he's on the come up in NXT, and he's definitely improved. And I would love to see more of Zelina Vega as well.
Oh, we better.
Oh yeah, because she's a good heel manager for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this match, Carl?
Gave it a 4. Like I underestimated Andrade. Like I just never thought that he was like, you know, he wasn't really it. Mm-hmm. But this match proved it.
Oh yeah, it certainly did. In fact, like the crowd was more behind him than McIntyre. McIntyre was kind of like the de facto heel.
Yeah, and I was kind of expecting like, you know, Drew McIntyre getting called back up. And then, did you know where he was gonna go?
I not sure.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
He's a SmackDown guy.
He said he's gonna go to SmackDown, but someone was supposed. Let me get closer because I don't think I'm close enough sometimes. Someone, like what I was reading was that they were going to move somebody, I think Rusev, to Raw, and he was going to go to SmackDown. But I don't know. Now all the plans are all jumbled because he's actually hurt. Some people thought it might have been a play, but he was really hurt. So I don't know. Tonight, something big was supposed to happen on SmackDown tonight too. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know, but it's gonna be fun to find out.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, really good match. Hopefully, we'll see Drew McIntyre sooner than later. Because he definitely stepped his game up since he left and came back.
Kyle said he thinks Drew McIntyre is overrated.
I wouldn't say that.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
What is overrated? Like by what means?
I'm just reading the comments.
I know. I want to know. I gotta start reading the comments.
I mean, I will say that
I'm gonna turn all this off.
Yeah. Right. I will say that Drew McIntyre is a much more worthy WWE champion than Jinder Mahal. Jesus Christ. But anyway,
you trying to get him started already, aren't you?
I can't wait. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait.
I mean, curious. Are you a Jinder Mahal fan?
Fan, no.
Okay.
By fan, no. But I have a question. Yeah. Everybody wants something new, right? It's like, we're so tired of the same champions. Randy Orton 14 times, John Cena 16 times. So they give you something that you've never seen coming,
right?
But that's not good enough for you guys.
Well,
not Jinder.
Well, yeah,
not Jinder.
So you mean new, but you mean new what you want. So you just want to rate the show because this is new. This is something you no one ever seen this coming.
Being new, I get what you're saying, Adrian, but being new doesn't always mean good.
No, but everyone clamored for something new and something different and something they didn't see. They gave you all three.
Well, here's the thing: if you want something new, give us Nakamura as champion.
So wait. But no, if Nakamura became champion, wouldn't that be forcing him down our throat because he just came up?
No, not at all.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. He just comes up, and he becomes champion. That's okay. That's not a shove down our throat.
Because here's the thing: Nakamura is a well-established athlete. He's a two-time NXT champion.
Forget that though.
Former IWGP World Heavyweight. You can't forget that. You can't forget that.
You have to forget that.
He brings
nothing to do with WWE. Does his record come there? Does his record get to come up there?
His accomplishments speak for themselves. It brings him
They
credibility.
speak for
Credibility.
for legacy, but not for WWE. For his legacy, it does. But actually bringing it up, right? What does it mean? What does it actually mean?
By that logic, then that means that AJ Styles should have never been champion.
False. I have a debate for that. AJ Styles should have been champion, but he was kind of champion kind of fast too. Let's just talk about Roman real quick. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even get to War Games.
We didn't
Can we
even
get to War Games?
I'm so ready for this debate.
Table that. All right,
Go, wait, let's go back to what you were saying. I can't wait to get to Roman though.
Yeah. We will table that.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, so moving on to the main event of War Games, we had the War Games match itself.
Fire.
5 stars. All right. We had the undisputed era with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, a.k.a. Team ROH, defeating the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong, and Sanity, the current NXT Tag Team Champions, in the War Games match. So it was 3 versus 3 versus 3. This match was utter chaos. I loved it.
What made them bring this back? First of all, the match was a 5. I do agree with that.
Right.
What made them bring it back?
Something.
Yes, we do. What made them bring this back? Because I had heard that they had talked about this last year, the year before. Like what made them?
They've been wanting to do a lot of that stuff. They're bringing back Starcade.
Yeah, I know.
Like a lot of Dusty
Is it-
Rhodes' like ideas are coming back. Please, not the Shockmaster. But like,
Is it like some random site I was on? Like, is this to get Cody? Like, hey, wait, like, look what we did with Dusty. Like, is this because?
but
I
Cody
think
ain't
Cody's-
up for it. Cody ain't what? He ain't up for it though.
Yeah, but no, but what I'm saying is this is to pay tribute, so like it shows you like there's good blood and like there's good in case you want to come back. Because Cody's gonna come back to WWE.
I see it happen.
It's 1,000%. The only reason why he truly left was because
Stardust was garbage. He was done with it.
He said give it a full push or give it no push, but don't in between them because that's what they were doing, like fake pushes that weren't real. But Cody destroyed, to me, his own self when he wanted to go after he got married. He took that month off when he was with Sandow.
Yeah.
They told him not to do it. Like they were going to make him champ. He's going to be champ, and he'd rather be a month with his wife, which is fine. But a month missing wrestling is like 10 years. Like the fans get tired of you and this and that. And I would love to see Cody back, but that's a different story. I just wanted to know what made. I don't know if you guys knew.
Yeah. Well, from what Kyle says, it was probably popular demand.
Yeah, I
They
think-
have the rights to it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
You can do it.
Oh yeah, and the concept, and Triple H was like really high on the concept too.
Dude, Triple H. This is one thing I do love about Triple H. Like somewhat calling the shots. It's like he's a wrestler.
Oh yeah,
Like he's been all about the talent. Well, I think the Cruiserweight Classic, prime example. The UK tournament,
yep.
the Mae Young Classic.
The Mae Young Classic was fire.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god!
I still say the Cruiserweight Classic was the best one.
I agree.
I don't disagree. I didn't think. I didn't think.
But
that
I
it was
like
gonna be that
like
good.
the Mae Young Classic. I like the UK.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I didn't think it was. I didn't think you could get enough females to put that high competitiveness. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was different for me. Just seeing that high level.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he's putting in like so much like great talent. Like NXT's his.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I mean, and look what it's doing.
yeah.
I honestly really don't think that they could have pulled like the guys on the main roster could have pulled off War Games.
Like
Very few.
I wouldn't say they couldn't.
it wouldn't have been as enjoyable.
Right.
I think,
right.
but I also think that people like to see when NXT is the underdog because at times I watch matches and I'm like, this isn't a good match. But like people are going crazy, but it's because it's underdogs. People people like to see people fighting to make because everyone's trying to get to
Get to the main
WWE.
roster.
No one wants to stay on NXT. Samoa Joe said he liked it for 2 months. He was there for a year. He liked it for 2 months. He said it was like I don't want to be here anymore, but he had to.
Right.
Everyone's trying to get up. I love watching the matches. But some of them stay there. Like is like who's coming up? Like it's so hard to bring people up because then people complain. We already have people there. So like, what's the argument for that? Because NXT is becoming its own entity, which Vince McMahon isn't so happy about. But what happens?
He's cashing in on it, so he's just gonna deal with it.
Oh, yeah, he has to deal with it because
Yeah.
it's making money. But
Right.
I know he's not too fond of it being its own thing, like its own chance, its own.
Yeah, and also too with the War Games match itself, Killian Dane of Sanity, he was the MVP of this match.
He went in.
He really
And
did.
what the hell is this big ass doing a coast to coast?
We should have had a
Yo.
thread for that. Are you in the group?
Nah, he's not in. No, yeah, he is, but he doesn't. Really
Okay, yeah, I'm saying we should. Did we?
I set up.
You didn't tag me. I didn't see it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see it, and I remember thinking after, I wish I had made a thread for it. I seen the thread for Survivor Series that I didn't make because I got. Another question, real quick.
Yeah.
The network.
Yeah.
When it says stop from the beginning, why can I not stop from the beginning during a live show if it's on like a smart TV? I have to be on my PlayStation. Why? Yeah, like do you guys?
I watch on my PlayStation.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I couldn't watch it live because usually I make a thread for it and we just talk about it and I watch everyone complain about every match, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then that's it. But
shout outs to Edmund.
Oh my god,
that is another one of your rivals. You just love making enemies, don't you?
Yeah, I got like 3 of them in there. Like they hate me, and I'm like, they're like, you love
you and Edmund stay going at
all
it.
the time.
Yo, come out to our Codex 100. He's gonna be there.
I'm trying to support you guys fully. Like 100% fully with everything with this, man. I'm so happy that I'm on this show. But I hope Victor invites me back after tonight. But whatever.
Yeah, we shall see.
Who's calling? I don't know why he's calling. My cousin in my football group. It's clearly about football.
Yeah,
and
it's about the jersey.
Yeah, it's about your jersey right now. So
I got you. Yeah, but yeah, man, Killian Dane, like he hit a coast to coast.
His
like
big ass did not need to be doing that coast to coast. It was still dope. Like he barely could. I mean, he couldn't get from California to New York. He probably made it to like Chicago, but like
yeah, and you had Alexander Wolf. I think he got suplexed through 2 tables from Authors of Pain. He busted his head, back of his head. Got some crimson in there.
I love the Authors of Pain so much.
Yeah, they're well booked.
I want them to come up so bad, but
they
but
would
they
take
have
over
no
as
spot though because where would they go right now? The Usos.
The Usos are the best tag team
are the best in the world right now. Like they are literally everywhere.
They run it.
They're beating it. What they did with the bars made them so credible from where they started with. Like I watch them, sometimes I'm like, yo, they're gonna beat. Like the fact that they got clean wins over the Shield and one-on-one competition. Where do you put them at? Like the Authors of Pain. Like where do you put them at? Because if they come up and they lose matches, you did them wrong. They come up, they win everything, you hate them because that's what happened with Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. People hated that they just kept winning every match, but then if they were losing matches, people hate him. So like. I feel like it's so hard.
You gotta give him a fair balance. You gotta give him that fair balance.
I wish.
Remember, the Ascension was winning. The Ascension was winning.
They were gonna be if the big one. If he didn't hurt his ankle, they would have been champion. He hurt his ankle, and they were gonna be champion.
I remember that.
They loved Triple H was so high on them. It's the same thing he has with Fandango. He really thinks he's a B+, A- star. That's why he tries to put him in every situation that he can be in. Even though right now they're goofballs. Yeah, it was a hit. I hate it now. I literally I cannot watch.
You hate Fashion Files?
I literally hate it, and I was the biggest. I was so behind it, and when people were like, "No, this is," I was like, "No, this is funny," but now it's just corny. Like it goes nowhere. It's still we don't know who attacked them. Like I'm not happy. Like I'm not happy with it. Like it turns on, I'm like, "Yo, turn this off." Like I'm not happy.
Yeah. Oh, and let's not forget Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. Baby. Hitting that.
I love when he does.
Yo, for real. Like, I get amped.
Yo,
I get amped.
Him, Bobby Roode. I don't know.
As a matter of fact, I was hoping you would be on time just to at least show.
Bullet Club. All right.
I need a Bullet Club shirt. Yo, Pedro, order me a Bullet Club shirt. He has more shirts than I do. I have like a shirt of everybody, and he has more than I do.
Yeah. Like there was a spot in the match where Roderick Strong hit Adam Cole with the ultra superplex off the top of the cage. Onto
everybody.
Oh man, that was like the car crash spot.
That what they displayed was War Games.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was what War Games was supposed to be. That was what War Games was growing up. Except for like the later years in WCW when Vince Russo took over and nobody really gave a shit.
Oh God.
But the ones with the Road Warriors, the Four Horsemen back then, that was what War Games was all about. I'd probably say the last good War Games was 98.
98. That was with
when Ultimate Warrior came up through the trap door. That
oh God,
that injured Davey Boy Smith into death.
Yeah, basically.
That's old school. That's like 20 years, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 20. I remember sitting with my father watching. That's only what I was just thinking about. I was like, that's old.
I remember watching that.
So yeah, man. At the end, the Undisputed Era, they won the match, but all 3 teams came out as winners, man.
Yeah, I was saying they all won with that.
Everybody deserves it. They all need to be called up.
I'd say so.
It won't happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But at least Authors of Pain. Put him on Raw.
I think they should go to Raw,
I think
they should go to Raw and just not be near the titles. Just win matches, some single matches, some tag team matches. You can buy months doing that if WWE does it right. I mean, I think WWE messed up. Their biggest mess up to me was Finn Balor. Because I don't think you should ever. He wasn't even getting responses on WWE his third week. That's why they made him come out as the Demon King, because you don't ever go up. You won one match in 10 minutes of it, you weren't even fighting. And then you beat Roman Reigns with a clean move when he never loses the clean moves. And then you just go.
Roman Reigns never loses.
Yeah. False. I can't wait to get into that. And then you just go beat Seth Rollins, and it's just such a force. And he wasn't particularly well on the mic up there, which he was better on NXT, which is so weird. I think he was nervous, but they brought the Demon King out early, like before because they wanted people to get into it.
Right.
The best thing, not the best thing, but him getting hurt was kind of better because the crowd just didn't like him. He would have been booed. He came back. I thought they had a good plan for him, but it's hard. Like him losing now, I think is okay because it makes him losing made Samoa Joe look better than him beating Samoa Joe. Does that make sense? Like I thought losing to Samoa Joe last night made Samoa Joe look stronger than if he had beat Samoa Joe. And you would think something. I just feel like Samoa Joe was the underdog last night, so it was a good win. He put over Kane. I think he's taking some losses because he's about to. I think he's gonna fight Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. I think he's just taking some losses because he's about to return.
Joe?
No, I think Finn Balor is.
No, from what I hear, I think Vince has changed his plans on that. Like he's not high on Balor. That's why he's had him job to Kane and then he's job to Joe.
That's so crazy because I heard the reason why he's lost to them is because Triple H is so high on Finn Balor, so it makes better sense that he's like he put Kane over, so it looks better for him fighting Braun Strowman. Samoa Joe's about to attack. I know he's about to do something.
Yeah, Brandon Sellers said they're scared of him getting hurt.
Well, and Vince is terrified of that because every time someone seems about to be a champion, they get hurt. So he's against.
Then he gets momentum and takes a forearm from Jinder and gets concussed. Kyle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he fought through that. He finished the match.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that you heard that, and I heard that the reason why he's taking these losses is to put them over because he's about to go fight.
Let's breathe through Survivor Series because I'm ready for the debate.
All right, let's go through Survivor Series.
All right. Or we could do the debate. Well, yeah, let's do the Survivor Series. Yes. We had Survivor Series. We'll start from the opening match to the main event. We had The Shield.
Wait, time out. I have a question. I'm sorry. Real quick. The pre-show. I don't understand why they fought Breezango. I'm being honest. I didn't.
Breezango wasn't in the pre-show Survivor Series.
It was them against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Oh, I didn't watch the pre-show.
Really?
No.
You didn't see that match? It was a good match.
Yeah.
It just didn't make.
I was at a dinner party.
Never mind, guys. I'm the wrestling fan here. Continue.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
I had to say that. Come on.
Yeah. So the pre-show I did not watch, but I did watch the main show. Obviously.
Clearly, everyone. I didn't know why that. I didn't see it. It started from there, and I was like, why are they fighting? And it was an entertaining match. It was just I didn't know if I missed something, but clearly no one else watched it either. I've asked like 4 people, but okay.
Yeah, but we had the opening match with a 3-on-3, The Shield defeating the New Day, Raw versus SmackDown. It was an enjoyable 3-on-3 contest. I think it was
4-star.
I think it was right for The Shield to go over that.
Good,
one.
And a good opener.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was a good opener because of the fact of how big New Day is and how big Shield. Like it made everyone get in the stage. Like,
they get into it. I'm like, all right, we got something here.
And the moves they were doing was just crazy. The kicks out, like I thought at least 2 or 3 different times the match could have just ended. You see someone jump in, flip, and they've been doing that more in tag team matches. If you watch the Usos and New Day, everything's so close, and then a quick hit, and this. So I loved the match. Did you think it? Do you know who got the pin?
I don't remember.
Xavier.
No, he got pinned. Do you know who pinned him?
Roman Reigns?
Nope.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that Ambrose got the pin in the biggest match of this would go like as I write their legacy and I do shows, it will be Ambrose got the pin on the New Day because that's their only.
Ambrose is just as big of a member of the Shield as Roman.
No. He is, but because of the fact that it was Ambrose, I thought it would be Seth. That's because Seth is seen as the more. He's the more like it's Reigns, Seth, Dean. That's the way it's usually viewed as. I didn't think Dean would get. I knew Xavier would be pinned, but I didn't think Dean would get the pin. But I didn't know if you guys seen into that, but I guess not.
Yeah. So and plus, I think it was the right call for the Shield to go over since they just came back.
Yeah,
and they have all this.
Yeah, they got to
momentum.
give him that momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they gotta have all the belts for that.
Oh, I can't wait!
Roman just got the Intercontinental.
I can't wait!
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. We'll talk about that
I
later.
can't wait!
Then we had a
boy got notes here, man. I'm
Oh,
waiting.
bro, me too. Right in my phone. I cannot wait.
nice.
I
And then we had the women's Survivor Series match. Team Raw, Alicia Fox, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Asuka, and Nia Jax defeating Team SmackDown, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Carmella, Natalia, and Tamina.
Oscar, my baby out here cleaning house.
Listen, the best thing WWE is doing is with Oscar right now. Well,
Yeah.
her being the last, I was like, you have to know. Don't let it be her and Nia. Don't let it be some protection. Let her have to win that, like win it, even if you know she's going to win. Because I figured I was like, there's no way her first loss will be here. Well, I'm hoping her first loss is at WrestleMania to somebody, but if I'm hoping that the way it went from that, Monday night, who did she fight last night? Because Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
So see how she's fighting like these other people. It's giving them a good look. It made Emma look good. Hopefully, Asuka can also put people over and still win.
Right.
And that's what I feel like is happening. People are tuning in. Like my daughter loves Asuka. Like literally, like wants to
Good
see
for
her
her.
fight. And yeah, I think Asuka's great. So I was happy with the match. I thought it was a good match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And have you seen like her stuff in NXT?
Yeah, yeah. Well, she's probably before I got big into NXT and started watching it. She was the reason why I wanted to go back to watch her matches, just because I had heard her not losing reminded me of CM Punk.
Yeah.
I love CM Punk. So I went back
I miss
and
CM Punk.
me too. He'll be back too.
You believe so?
Yes, because people need money. Why everyone else comes
No, but
back?
CM Punk was like, he doesn't live no outlandish
No,
lifestyle.
but people love money. Neither does Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doesn't live no outlet. He lives out on some farm
In
that is
Canada,
not-
yeah.
it means nothing. But when people get offered millions, I mean just millions of dollars, it's hard to say no.
I would have to agree because like if and CM Punk pretty much said this himself. Like if he was offered a part-time Lesnar deal, he'd take it.
Yeah. Like eventually, look at
I'll
he
take-
was
I'll
suing.
take that.
He was
I'll take
suing
that.
the
I'm
doctor,
stupid.
right? He was suing. Dropped it. He was suing WWE. Dropped it.
Oh, they dropped it?
Yeah, it's dropped.
Nice.
Eventually, what happens is you just drop it. Vince McMahon doesn't, as bad as he can be, he doesn't really hold grudges. Like
No, he doesn't.
He lets you. If you can make him money, then you're fine in his book. Bret Hart came back. After
Yeah.
that, who was my favorite wrestler of all time? He came back. If he can come back, anyone else can. Eventually,
Bruno came back.
Yeah, think about it, man. He let the Ultimate Warrior come back after everything he was saying for a decade.
Oh my god! I got an autographed copy of the Ultimate Warrior's like shoot interview. Dog,
All the pictures.
it was like slander. It was literally like listening to an audio version of Owen Hart's Widow's book.
Oh my god.
Was that bad?
Oh, like slander. I think he like said very good. He said a good thing about the Undertaker because nobody says anything bad about the Undertaker
Ever.
except for Vic.
I just joke about that.
He said he had a good relationship with Randy Savage. He didn't say nothing bad about Sting, another wrestler who nobody can say anything bad about.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, Asuka, she's definitely on the come up. They're doing right by her. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that Vince is not Vince McMahoning Asuka's momentum.
and
so
he's
that's
the
good.
one doing it. Like he's really like having her do well, and I just believe she's putting on such good match. I was proud of Dana Brooke last night just for her taking the shots and falling. The ending, the cover was a little weird, but everything else was good. I felt she got some good shots in. But I thought the 5 tag match at Survivor Series was just a good match.
It was.
Yeah.
I might be biased because I watched it with my daughter and she freaked out and ran around and jumped up and she's like so happy.
Nice. That's what's up.
Your daughter's not a Bailey girl?
She is a Bailey girl, but she loves Asuka. Like she just was like she loves Asuka, and she always says nobody can beat Nia. Like there's always something. She's 5, so to her it's different. She's like something always happens. They never just beat her, and I'm like, yeah, I know it's never clean. She goes, no, she's clean. I'm like, well, yeah. like she doesn't understand. Yeah, like she's the best.
Yeah, and then we had the U.S. champ Baron Corbin defeating the Intercontinental champ The Miz. Well, getting a win.
Brandon
for
Sell says
SmackDown.
Dana Brooke could put me over or under.
Yeah,
Man, let's not be crass, people. Let's not be crass.
We having fun.
Yeah, we are still,
having
man.
fun.
Come on, but and to be fair, Dana Brooke is not that good. Anyway, let's go
I
about.
said she had a good match. I didn't say she was that good. I said I felt like she had a good match last night against Asuka. Taking a lot, she sold a lot of shots and she got a couple good ones. And I don't think she's I think they didn't drop her because her husband had just killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's why I think she was gonna get dropped. But like, how do you drop somebody?
Damn, is that what happened? He killed himself?
Yeah, he killed himself.
Oh, damn.
So
Like, I saw that he died, but I just never. I didn't
he-
follow up with the story.
Yeah, no, he killed himself. So they weren't gonna drop her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty. Yeah, they
At
were
least
like,
not right away.
Yeah, not right away. They're
Give
probably
it a year. Give it a year.
Yeah,
two.
yeah. They'll pay her whatever she gets now, but I'm pretty sure she was gonna get dropped because there's no use of her. But she never got better. She's as good as she was in NXT.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, she
you're right.
never.
Yeah. So yeah, Baron Corbin going over the Miz, and then you had the Usos going over the
We're not
bar.
talking about the Corbin match.
Well, yeah.
We're
Real,
letting that go.
Oh.
He got through the Miztourage. I thought a lot of people thought he was gonna lose. I mean,
Three at best.
I'm talking about the song that at least WWE's off of the hate of Baron Corbin because they were on the whole thing, and I heard rumors that him pushing that ref when the ref fell wasn't supposed to happen like that, and he wasn't the best locker room guy, but they let him go over the Miz who had a pretty good 2017.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was
Miz is the top heel in the game.
yeah, no, I believe he gets you to.
He's carrying
last night,
Raw.
Last night he was getting booed. I mean, he was getting cheered, and he got them to boo him. I think that's one of the hottest things to do is to be cheered as a heel, and then say something so rude to them that they just stop booing. You're like, no, never mind. You're not getting cheered by us. So I just thought it was a big win for Baron Corbin. I'm hoping
Shawn
tonight.
Michaels probably the best one who can do it.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm saying, but the Miz right now in this year is top notch at doing that. Where people like you're cheering for him, and you're like, what did he just say to me? And you boo him. I believe Baron Corbin tonight. I'm hoping he just has like a big win. I think if they're really going to try to believe in him, I'm not the biggest Baron Corbin fan, but if you are, I believe in WWE, like I want them to succeed. He needs to have a big win tonight, a fight tonight, because people are going to be watching. I think that was just a big win. He can brag about it, whatever. But go ahead, next match.
Yeah. The Usos defeating the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. SmackDown Tag Champs versus Raw
Usos
Tag
proved
Champs.
that they're the best game. They're the best tag team in the game right
Yes.
Yeah, they kill
What up, Ed?
it. They kill it in the ring. They kill it on promos. Yo,
Man, oh my God, those promos.
now. No, I had to just listen to the rap battle like on the way here.
Oh man,
Like,
it's just the Usos, man. Who would have thought? Because when they drafted, they brought it up at Survivor Series, like they weren't no one cared. Like no one cared. The Usos weren't winning or losing matches. They just weren't fighting. They were getting hurt. I know Vince hates people getting hurt, and they just came back. And I thought it was so crazy. The matches that they had with New Day was just phenomenal. Matches of the year, like literally two of them could be matches of the year.
Yeah,
And then for them to go over on the New Day, you just expected the New Day to go over in the end, and they didn't. And then they just, I don't know. I just think the Usos are the best tag team right now, and it's just, it was a good match. I like to watch.
Yeah, and honestly, like I was cool with the whole, when they came out with the face paint doing the haka and stuff in the beginning. And
I
now
never want to see that again. Now I love
cool
who
with
they
it.
are.
I was cool. I love what they are.
You get what I'm saying?
They're
Like I love
they're
that.
themselves.
Yeah, I love that. But this is who they are. They're not just jokes, which is fine. They did what they had to do to, whatever Vince tells you to do, you do. But now they're
themselves
who they
with the volume up to 10.
Yeah, and
Have you watched?
Uso penitentiary. Yo, that was so catchy. Out of nowhere, he just said it.
Yeah.
And
Do you watch Up, Up, Down, Down? No, it's basically like, no, you should be watching it. They're doing a Madden tournament.
They're doing a Madden tournament.
Yeah, wrestlers are playing Madden.
Oh wait, yeah. Didn't the champ just lose?
Yeah.
The one who
Yeah,
won
Seth
last
Rollins.
year?
Seth Rollins won 3 times. He won 3 years in a row.
Who did he lose to? Baron Corbin.
No,
To Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan. I wasn't. Oh my God, that's some more hate.
Who's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Well, he's not a Dallas Cowboys fan, but he picked the Dallas Cowboys. They were actually both Bears fans.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is a Bears fan. Jason Jordan's from Chicago. He's a
Yeah, I
Bears
know.
fan.
I didn't know Seth Rollins was a bit. Anyway, that's a different story. But no, I don't. I don't. I used to watch it, but I just
Oh, them shits is dope. You
Man,
get back in.
got a kid sometimes. Man. It's hard to get time. If she don't want to watch it, we really don't watch stuff.
Yeah. And and also like one quick spot that I liked was when one of the Usos made that hot tag by diving over the rope, tagging his brother.
That was
hit the splash.
listen,
That
they
was
do
dope.
that great. Like that was crazy. That was such a good. I'm gonna watch it tonight. That was such a good. I love that match.
Yep, indeed. And then we had the women's SmackDown Women's Champ Charlotte Flair defeating the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Very good contest.
It was clean.
Yeah. She really might headline WrestleMania one year. I don't know against who, but she says she wants to. I think Vince is open to the idea, man. I'm telling you. No female ever has. I think she will be. She's Ric Flair's daughter. Bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
If anything, she'll headline WrestleMania off of strength of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yo, listen, her versus Asuka, if they let Asuka not lose all next year, going into the next WrestleMania, Charlotte, I mean, she'd have to stay champ. I mean, it's hard to get the story there because you need Charlotte to look just as strong as Asuka. It's hard to look just as strong as Asuka when Asuka doesn't lose. But, man, listen, Charlotte, I love Charlotte Flair. I just do. I always have, and I just feel like Alexa Bliss held her own, though, in the match. I felt like she definitely did well.
Absolutely. Yeah, like these two women, they're the only two women who have held both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships.
And they bring that up at the right time. They're like, only two. And you're like, oh, really? Wow. And they don't bring it up any other time but the match, and it's just good to hear. It was cool.
Yeah, and Alexa Bliss, she's been stepping her game up like ever since she came up in NXT. So
she was damn near the last pick too, and she just she just switched over, made her champion, took it off Bayley when everyone.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say real quick: Bayley, before she left, when she was hurt, was getting booed. Now she came back and she's getting cheered again. What the hell happened? Remember we were talking about it. She was getting booed.
I remember us talking about that in the group. And
now she come back, and now she's being cheered again. Did fans forget they were booing her? Did they?
Possibly.
I don't know. I don't even know why they were booing her.
It's like they missed it.
Well,
I think the happy-go-lucky hug again thing.
She's not so much that right now. Like she's not coming out being extra. Like she does the Bayley thing, but she runs out and she talks. She's a little more aggressive on the mic. I didn't like where they were going with the Corey Graves thing. I'm happy that she got. Not happy she got hurt, but her being hurt stopped it because they were just gonna make her look so weak and supposed to hug every I didn't think it was gonna work.
Yeah, and plus with the whole
he said it's called. Kyle said it's called a return pop. Yeah.
But she's been getting it for a month, so I mean, does it end? Like no.
Yeah, I think fans were starting to get sick of Bayley's shtick, mostly because how she was being booked, especially with that horrible "This Is Your Life" segment with Alexa Bliss, which soured a lot a lot of to Bayley.
Listen, there was only one good "This Is Your Life" segment.
That was The Rock. Mick Foley.
I love The Rock. I love The Rock too. I'm just saying you guys love him more.
So yeah, great good match there. And then we had the match of the night. Brock Lesnar, Universal Champion, going over against the phenomenal AJ Styles, the WWE Champion, 2 times, the most deserving champion all year, rescuing the title from irrelevance from Jinder Mahal. But yes, this match itself.
What is he saying?
Oh my God, debate.
AJ Styles is the most deserving champion this year.
Save it for the debate. Save it for the debate.
I'm not even going to say Reigns is. How is he the most deserving champion this year?
I mean, against the terrible, irrelevant reign of Jinder Mahal, then you had Randy Orton's needless 14th reign.
What?
Then you had
Why do you guys call things needless?
Then you had Bray Wyatt's
do legacies matter?
Bray Wyatt's transitional reign, and then you had John Cena's 16th win, which was a 2017 match of the year candidate with back in the Royal Rumble. That was a really good match. So
let me get this straight.
Yeah,
AJ Styles is the most. So he's more deserving champion than the Miz was when the Miz won the Intercontinental title, his first run. Who had a way better run than AJ did. He had a way better run than AJ did.
You're talking about the World Championship?
You said champion. You mean World Champion? Or
World Champion.
You mean only World Champion this year?
Yeah, the World Championship, yeah.
Over everyone that had it.
This year.
That's by default. That's by default. John Cena's 16th championship means nothing. Jinder Mahal, to me, became champion probably for India. He's going to be champion again probably tonight. Well, they're going back to India, so he has to have the title. He's not going to go in there and not the champion.
Well, they did book a match. They are booking a match. Triple H. With Triple H in India.
Yeah. But it will trickle down. He has Triple H, right?
Yeah.
And then he'll become champion, and they'll promote that. I would probably bet that Jinder Mahal will be champion by the time they reach India.
Well, ironically,
Kyle says he's correct. Don't make me agree with Victor.
No, ironically, India doesn't give a shit about Jinder Mahal. But they really don't care about him.
But his numbers are crazy.
His number,
his merchandise there is like crazy.
Well, by default, because he's the only notable Indian wrestler there.
But Great Khali was big too.
Yeah, and Khali is garbage.
He's awful. I don't even know why he came back for that one match. Even though that was kind of cool that he came back, just because who thought he was going to come back?
Yeah, shock value.
You know what I mean? The shock value was cool, not the actual seeing the Great Khali. Just that. Yeah. But like I said, I love AJ Styles. I do believe AJ Styles is being shoved on us, but I do. How is he not?
I don't see it.
Answer me this: what other wrestler, right, doesn't lose by the person doing their move once? Please say Roman Reigns, so I can tell you. I can name off matches. What other wrestler? He gets away with murder.
John Cena doesn't get pinned by people's moves.
So now he's John Cena. He's as big as he's John Cena. Thank you.
What
other people get away with that? AJ Styles goes in matches, right? He gets hit with the best moves ever and just kicks out. If other top wrestlers do that, they complain.
He got laid out with one F5, which and the
That's
F5
the first time.
and the F5 is the most protected finisher
Listen,
right now.
That's the first time, and I posted. That's the first time in his career on WWE that he's lost to the move being done once. That doesn't seem. But if anyone else that does, we complain. If Roman Reigns gets out, we complain. Everyone goes crazy. AJ Styles was like, "Oh my God, AJ Styles is the man. He got up for the third time." Why? Well, because
he's that phenomenal.
he's phenomenal. See, I can't wait. I need answers like that. I need answers.
All right. We almost there. And Kyle, apparently you made a face that Kyle says that it could be meme of the year.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
This is gonna be on YouTube, probably like either tonight or tomorrow.
I'll get my meme people up there, Kyle. Don't worry about it. We're about to handle it.
All right. Can't wait to see it, Kyle. But
to the champions,
but
Shout out
Eddie,
to my man Derek
Eddie,
Dion
that's right.
too, man.
Wait, when is Clash of the Champions? The 18th, 19th, 17th?
No, because the 18th Raw's gonna be over here.
Yep.
So I think
The
we're
17th.
getting the Raw
17th.
afterward.
We get the after day because okay.
yeah. But yeah, real quick, the Lesnar AJ Styles match, I thought it was very good. It did start off with
Oh
Brock.
God, I knew. I was like,
That was such a good start.
Yeah,
That means, you know why? Because you thought, oh my God, he's about to John Cena this guy, and you were like, no, they can't do this.
Just
they can't
completely-
feed him to Brock Lesnar, and then he made a kick, and you're like, boom, oh shoot, and then boom, to me. That was one of the best starts because of what you believe, like what your
you
head
thought
said
was gonna happen.
Oh my God! Like he punched him, just got suplexed. He swung at him, just got suplexed. You're like, this is John Cena all over again. He
Yeah.
hit 2-3 like kicks. You're like, boom, shoved him to the ground. You just felt.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, they were about to John Cena him. It made no sense that they had, but you were gonna be like, what the hell just happened? And then you thought maybe that would work against him losing to Jinder. And for AJ to come away from that, to me, made the start of the match so good.
Yeah.
And that's why I do love AJ Styles. It was that he got beat down. And he just turned it. The calf crusher was crazy.
That shit was nuts. I'm like, oh.
I wish he would get a new finishing move because he keeps losing every time he tries to do his finishing move. It always turns when he fought Roman Reigns. He got spared twice. It just
Was it Styles Clash?
No. When the phenomenal
Forearm.
Oh, the phenomenal forearm.
Every time he goes to do it, it always leads to someone else's finishing move. So we did it to Chris Jericho, led to his finishing move, and it always leads to like as soon as he went up there, I was like, oh, I think he's gonna fall to F5.
Patrick Oren says Strowman deserves the belt already. Strowman is actually shoved on our faces.
Yeah. He is. He's being shoved on us, but no
we'll
one
get to
cares.
that. We'll get
no
to
one
that.
cares. They only care if it's Roman. They don't care if it's anybody else.
Yeah, we'll get to Strowman in a bit because I have some words about that in the Roman Reigns debate. But yeah, the Styles Lesnar match was very good storytelling.
That was definitely
like
a
at the
good
end,
story.
like Styles gave him hell, and proved that
He looked
made him,
beaten.
Yeah.
And I
Yo,
think
he
that made Brock Lesnar's. He's been champion now for 241 or 243 days now, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they brought that up, and I believe that they'll start bringing that up more as it gets closer to WrestleMania.
Yep.
They have found a way to. Every time Brock Lesnar fights, it's just a big match. Samoa Joe, Strowman, AJ, the 4-man match. It's his run now to me is better than it was the last time he had it. It just seems bigger now. Maybe because he's fighting different talent, he's not fighting the Undertaker. Which, as much as I love the Undertaker, there's moves he can't do anymore. There's hits he can't take anymore.
Correct, yeah,
so
correct,
it's just
correct.
different. Even though the Survivor Series when he beat Brock was probably the best Undertaker I had seen in a while because he did a lot of different moves and he took like 4 suplexes. So it was more than he had been
You
taking.
mean the Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell, I mean, yeah, I think that was a better match when he jumped over the ropes. It was just a lot for the Undertaker, who I hope stays retired.
Yeah.
But not because I don't want him back, but.
Kyle says Strowman is getting the Lex Luger WWF run treatment.
I
I don't think he's gonna get a.
wouldn't go that far.
They trying to murder Braun Strowman,
Oh yeah.
like literally murder him.
Why you say that?
Okay, Roman hits him with a bus. They throw him in a trash can.
Wait, it's just to show you that he's a monster.
Yeah, I know what it is, but it's like
He got hot
really
at the wrong
trying to
time.
murder him.
It just happens. He just got this whole story that you see. WWE is a story, right? It's
Correct.
An ending a thing. This is a story of how Roman Reigns becomes champion. This is what the story is. They've sold it to you different ways, but the story is now. This is the best time of them telling a story for Roman Reigns to become champion because you're not focused on it because they're keeping him away from there. He's just not near it. He's just not
Right,
near
you
it.
focus on
So you know what I mean? Like you focus on the Shield. You focus on the fact that Roman Reigns has lost some key matches. You're focused on Brock Lesnar putting on better matches. But in the end, This is a story of how Roman Reigns becomes champion.
And for the record, Kyle, I remember the Lex Express, bro. I remember the slam around the.
Yeah. So I think Strowman got hot at the wrong time. He's just he's hot, but it's just it's everyone like you have to have a title, but there's just times. Remember when Razor Ramon was hot? He didn't have the title. There's just times where you're just hot, but they don't have plans for you to be champion for a year.
Now I got a quick question. Like, now are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yes.
Now like they were having talks with Thor Bjornsson, who played the Mountain, to come to WWE.
Yes.
Do you think?
For WrestleMania.
That'd be crazy. But like, do you think that if Thor Bjornsson came into WWE, he would be getting the push that Braun Strowman would be getting right now?
No, because Braun Strowman, the guy Braun Strowman can fight though. Like he's actually like watching him last night against Kane, like him getting hit, he falls at the right time, he lands at the right time. Brock Lesnar, like everything's different. Like you have to be like.
Well, I'm sure he was gonna run. I'm sure Thor Bjornsson would have ran through the performance center or whatever.
Well, you don't know that. Sometimes when they go to WrestleMania, they don't go through that. They just go and they have a couple practice and that's it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Braun's gotten better on the mic too. Like his voice, he's learned to break it down to speak directly on what he says and not try to. Go away from who he is. So I don't know. I think Braun Strowman is someone who should be champion, just shouldn't be champion now. I just don't think his time is now. And that happens in the WWE where you wait a year or 2 years because it's not their plan for you. So they keep you strong, but you're just not. It'd be a pointless time for Braun. If Braun Strowman became champion right now, he'd lose it. First of all, this is the worst time to become champion is December because Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, you're bound to lose your title at one of these points. Yeah. So it'd be a bad time for him to become champion anyways. And it doesn't. What did he go through? Like, what's his story? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he needs to. I feel like
he has to go through something.
Yeah,
like, it's like one thing. I felt like nowadays they're pushing wrestlers too fast.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god!
Like I remember, like back in the day, like you saw Bret Hart. He went through the tag team division. Then you saw him go through the Intercontinental division, and then media, eventually, like he ended up when he beat Ric Flair for the world title. It was like and the same thing with Shawn Michaels. Like you was able to see the grind.
Even years before that, like. For example, Kofi Kingston, right? He's never going to be world champion, but his rise, he went to the U.S. title, and then he went to like you normally start it slow, so that's why it was better when random people like say Sheamus came and became champion. It was just different. I'm not saying he should have become champion. It was just different. But now everyone comes in and they don't and they can't lose a match, so now everyone's undefeated. But it doesn't make sense anymore. Remember, who's the guy? Adam Rose. Remember he came in, he had like 16 in a row. You're like, why? This guy's not. So then people started bringing it up because the media, you go on social media, they bring it up. This guy has most of the match. So they're trying to find a way for him to lose the match without it being too bad. And people, it turns like I wish it could go back to when you didn't have to fight for a title. You could go and have a match at freaking not Clash of Champions, so to say, but let's say Royal Rumble, and the match didn't mean anything. Like it just meant you had a match. Like these two hate each other, they're fighting. Why does everything have to mean something now? And I think that's what's watering down WWE because they're like, okay, well we can only make these 20 people mean something, so the other 30 just don't mean anything.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get out because I'm ready for this debate.
Yeah, and then we had
event.
Yes, the main event, which had a spark when it started, but then it ended up garbage. We had
he speaks for himself.
Yeah, we had a Team Raw, Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H defeating Team SmackDown, Shane O'Mac, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena.
Listen, I just saw like Shinsuke Nakamura's like next 3 WrestleMania opponents in that one match.
Yeah,
like they wanted those matches. They wanted them.
Naka's following is just so crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing about this match. Why I said it started off had a spark and then it turned out garbage. Where all the newer talents, the younger newer talents, were shoved off early. Nakamura was the first, one power slam from Strowman, followed by Bobby Roode, same deal. Then Balor got shoved out, then Samoa Joe, and then you were left with Angle, who still got it to a certain extent, but he's over the hill. You got Randy Orton.
He had a good match. He fought well. He fought well at Survivor, like better than he did with this shit. He had a. Go.
Yeah, you had Randy Orton, who doesn't need to be there anymore because what else is there for him to accomplish? You have
that's my argument is he's not done though, so he gets to accomplish things. That's why I don't understand why. Like your argument is like he should just retire then.
He should.
That is the dumbest thing I've heard today.
Well, I
know you're gonna say dumber things in our debate, but that's the dumbest thing I've heard today. Why would he retire?
What else is there for him to do? He's already reached the mountaintop. He's a 14-time champion.
He's a legacy building. He's a wrestler. He's a good wrestler. That's why. Because he can put people over. That's why. Because people go to see him. Because he has fans. That's why. Because he's not done. Because he's not hurt.
Right, but here's the thing. Orton is
like 38.
Yeah, but Orton is boring. He's I mean, I take nothing away from him from his skill as a wrestler. He's immensely talented. But you gotta admit, man, like his whole gimmick, his whole silent but deadly stick is just. I watch him, and there's a reason why people call him Blandy Borton because he's.
I've heard that never. But okay, go. Yeah, I've never heard that.
I've seen it a lot on internet wrestling.
You're gonna have to show me. I've never heard that. But go.
Yeah, Blandy Borton because like as good as he is, like.
They got to be like 6 years old people who say
it's like I'm watching him. It's like wow, man. It's watching his matches sometimes. As good as he is, it's like a 15-20 minute fight to keep my eyes open at times. I'm sorry.
I feel like this debate is not going to prove anything tonight. I feel like I'm
sorry.
Like two different worlds.
I'm ready.
And
I'm ready.
And Triple H, just feeding his ego, and
oh my God. So let me get this straight. One more time. If you've done a lot for the business. And you fight, and you have fans, and you bring people in the seats that want to see, because people wanted to see Triple H. People want to see John Cena. Like people want to see them.
Yeah,
they should just stop because. And here's the issue with that is the same fans that say that don't watch the show though because I can't wait till we debate. You understand that people had a chance to take over wrestling when certain people were injured or suspended, and the ratings went down. So
ratings are down now.
No, focus. They went down. So that means that wherever they're at now, they got worse. And then they leveled back up to 3 million, 4 million, or when Roman Reigns fights about 4 million. But it's fine. It's fine. Oh, I can't wait to show you. It's fine. It's fine. So I have a question on, you say this, but they can't get people to watch these other cool wrestlers, these hip wrestlers, fight. So what are they supposed to do? Because the fans won't watch them, even though the fans seem to love them, but they won't tune in to watch them. Just tell me what they should do.
Listen, man.
I got him. I know. I can't wait. I can't wait.
No, you make a very good point. In that,
it's a serious question because honestly, there has to be bigger names.
Yeah.
And just to give you a topic real quick, Roman Reigns did not wrestle right when he wasn't wrestling. The ratings went down 1.5 million. People stopped watching wrestling when he was not fighting. When he was suspended, it went down 1.7. That's a lot of people just not watching when he's fighting. They started using him twice because they realized that people were coming to watch. Remember, he was fighting 2 matches a night and they were doing this? It's because they can't get people to watch. So I'll take that out of my whole debate with you is how do people watch? You had a chance to watch Seth Rollins be champion. You had it, he's fighting. He's main eventing. Braun Strowman. But they don't tune in for that. So what does WWE do if they can't get you to actually watch these people unless they're fighting him or another top guy?
Right, but that's also indicative. I mean, yeah, with Randy Orton, they bring star power, they bring name value, but that's also indicative of a booking problem that WWE has always had, where they have a failure to properly build up new stars.
How can they?
So
book Strowman any better than they are right now? He main evented, and it just did no numbers.
Well, the injury didn't do him any favors either.
Facts.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But even when we posted the thing in the in the group, we posted like the numbers, like the main event numbers, this and that, Roman's numbers, this and that. Our numbers are through the roof with anyone else. Maybe that's because I was booked, but then again, he still loses matches. I can name multiple matches he's lost at events. So
shout outs to Gabe. What up, man?
So what up, Gabe? So what I'm saying is, at what point in time do you say, okay, it's more on the fans? Because to me, it's a fan problem. They like these wrestlers, but they don't watch these. Like I have friends who are like, I love AJ Styles. I'm like, you watch SmackDown? No, I'm not gonna watch SmackDown tonight. I don't like SmackDown. But AJ Styles is friends. Why don't you just watch SmackDown? Nah, I'll just catch it. But people who hate Roman Reigns, I'm gonna watch him. I hope he loses tonight. But you're giving him the fan. They don't care if he loses. You know what I mean? I was at an event once where I told you 10 people bought his shirt to burn it. That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
but,
that is.
So I'm saying is like either the fans, like what else can WWE do? Because when they do give other people shots to do it, the numbers are just bad. Like what other way? And if they book them a different way than they already are, they'll say that you've turned them or they changed them or they're not the same way. So some people are just who they are. Like for a minute, Kevin Owens, I think he's amazing on the mic. I don't think he'll ever be a face of a show because I don't think he can bring people in. So I you know what I mean? I don't think he brings people in. I think he's great to watch, but I don't know many people that say, I'm watching tonight for Kevin Owens. So even though I know people who love Kevin Owens. So how would you change that? I mean, I'm being honest. Anyone else who's watching this, how would you change that? Because Kevin Owens can't be changed. You know what I mean? He has to be who he is. But that doesn't bring people in. So what do you do? Do you change his character? Do you?
So it's about like attracting the casual fans.
Yeah, it's about keeping the wrestling fan there who likes people and wants to watch them. I think Randy Orton shouldn't retire. I do believe that match, to get it as big as it was, it made sense to put. It didn't make sense to put John Cena in the match because John Cena didn't even cut a promo. So it didn't make sense to me, but it made sense because Randy Orton on SmackDown is a name you know, and he won the Royal Rumble this year, and he became champion. Like, Randy Orton's having a damn good year. Forget how old he is. He's having a really good year, and yet he still put over Bray Wyatt. And if Bray Wyatt would stop getting hurt, he'd probably be a champion at some point. But he gets hurt every year, and he gets hurt 2 or 3 times a year. So it's hard for them to do anything with someone who literally gets hurt all the time. But to me, I think Randy Orton, you can't tell me why John Cena was in that match. He lost. He didn't do anything well except knock out Samoa Joe, and he didn't even cut a promo. And that's what made me the most mad, because you can put that on YouTube, and that brings he didn't cut a promo. He didn't even wear blue. He wore neon green.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Well, he wore blue shorts, so it's okay.
He always, you know what I mean? Like to me, it was just like that to me is when fans get mad. Is when you should get mad, because there was no need for him to be in that match because he didn't do anything different. He didn't even talk on the microphone, which he's good at, is what he brings to the table, is how well he is at selling a match. And I thought he would say something about, I don't know, Triple H or anybody, SmackDown. I mean, so I don't know.
Yeah, so Gabe says people don't realize that their hate just makes Vince push him even more because no matter what, he's going to get the same type of heat.
Yes.
Cena's pointless in that.
Eddie, I agree with you. It was a filler, and I honestly had wished that they had let Cena be a special guest referee for a match than him actually have been in a match. Yeah. And I like John Cena, which I used to hate John Cena, but my daughter loves him. Eventually, he has grown on me, and now I like John Cena. But I was almost hit you up about it and was like, why is he in this match? Like, I did not understand why he was in this match.
I couldn't even.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just one of those things.
He's the free agent, so
he picked SmackDown.
No,
I thought he was going to use that.
No, he's still a free agent. They just
I'm saying, I thought
SmackDown got him.
I was going to say SmackDown's just a better show because John Cena's known for being that. I thought he would like that's just
he
like
started
any promo would have worked there, but no promo does not work there. But go. We can continue.
Yeah. Yeah, but also I think John Cena is sticking around for his inevitable 17th championship reign.
After this movie, he has no movie, so he can go back to. He said he's going to go back to full time for another year. He'll be full time. I think that after this movie, when he's done, he'll be back for full time. I'm assuming they're going to feed gender to him, which to me is not a good idea. And that's what people say. As long as it's not gender, but you don't build. Gender is a built star right now. He's a champion. People hate him. He gets reactions.
No, he's a great heel. He just sucks as a wrestler. His move is awful.
And that to me is when you reflip, I don't know, Sami Zayn to a good guy, and he beats him. This is the time to actually let somebody beat him who can be built off that. And I don't think they're ever going to do that. They're going to feed him to John. The same thing with Rusev, which at the time was the most hated heel. They fed him to John Cena.
Yeah.
And I don't listen, John Cena almost ruined Kevin Owens' career. He beat him first and he beat him the next 3 matches. That can ruin your career.
Yeah,
it made no sense. He clean beat John Cena and then got demolished his next 3 matches against him. And that is when I say people can be destroyed. And I feel bad because I don't think gender should have to lose to John Cena.
Trisha Fabrizio says, "Oh my God, don't let your little girl watch this. She would never forgive me for saying."
She would be so mad if she heard me disrespect John Cena.
Yeah, it's the John Cena curse.
Yeah, I just feel like, oh man, I remember when he was about to fight Roman, and they're like he's gonna go over on Roman. I was like, Roman can't take that. Like, I was like, he might be the only one who can, but I don't want to see him try. So I don't, you know what I mean? Bray Wyatt didn't go over on him, Daniel Bryan didn't go over, and it hurts them. Like, people think, oh, it's fine. It takes them a while to get away from that. I feel like John Cena should, like, the Baron Corbin was okay because Baron Corbin was already getting killed, so it didn't matter that he lost. I thought John Cena should have won the match because it just was better for John Cena fail. Miz handled the loss well at WrestleMania. That didn't hurt him at all. I think there's some losses, but I'm hoping that when he does come back, if he does get the title, I'm hoping then he puts somebody over. I know he's gonna get the title. Clearly, he's gonna beat. I mean, Ric Flair wants him to. So once you got that backing, you're not. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
We pretty much done with the pay-per-views?
Yeah, pretty much,
What up,
man.
Rob?
Yeah, we're done with
Rob Whitmore?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Survivor Series NXT TakeOver.
What did you
wrap
rate
up.
it?
I thought it was a very good show. Oh, the main event.
Yeah, because you said it was.
I give it a 3.5.
I give it a 3.5. Up 4 maybe. I mean, I like I did like that it was almost a double flip with Triple H when I was like, yo, he's about to go to Shane's team, but I was like, how are they gonna beat Braun Strowman? That was like my whole. I was like, okay, he goes, Shane's dying. I was like, and you can't beat him right now. So, and then he went back and beat him, but he wanted the pin. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if is he gonna fight Braun Strowman? Is that where
it looks like it?
I mean, it looked cool when they were both just standing there and Triple H didn't back up for like a good 30 seconds on Raw. Like he stood there, and then he slowly like, I'm not scared of you. Like I've beaten bigger men than you, but then he was like, but I can't beat you right now. I'll catch you later. Like, you know.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
Vic got the notes ready.
I can't read comics. I got
the comments right here. I'm getting them all right here. Vic got the notes ready. They've been nicely well typed, highlighted, underlined.
Yeah, so we're about to get into our
Shonda. What's up, girl?
Shonda Shroxer?
Nah, this is my homegirl from Delaware. She's a fellow Cowboys fan. She lost the
L's.
Excuse me, Colts Nation.
We're in the building. We didn't lose last week, so can't talk to me until we lose.
Oh man.
How many? What's your record? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think we're talking wrestling right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'll just say.
I don't know why you're getting off track, bro. I'm just shouting
on my homegirl. I'm just shouting on my homegirl, but I'm just saying.
So yeah, man, we're about to get into our
debate. Should I put? Wait. I gotta YouTube this.
Yes, our Roman Reigns debate. Is Roman Reigns the guy? That's the question for tonight's debate. Obviously, I'm on the side that says that I disagree. You're on the side, obviously, representing the Roman Empire. Well, I think we'll begin with our opening statements, I suppose.
I was going to have a... Damn it. Never mind. Forget it. I was going to play the ESPN First Take theme song.
That would have been dope.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would actually been pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't got my YouTube.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me an opening statement.
I will say that before we start this off, to set the record straight, I am not a Roman Reigns hater. I think he's very talented. I actually do like Roman Reigns. However, I don't think that he is like the guy like to take WWE to be the John Cena's successor. And there's 3 prime reasons why I think Roman Reigns is not the guy. One is WWE's corporate spin on the perception of Roman Reigns. And what I mean by that is their repeated attempts to edit and conceal fan hostility towards Roman Reigns, like
2 years ago,
like where they manipulate the audio of the crowd. They turn on the crowd mics whenever they boo him, so it doesn't sound like he's getting a negative reaction as badly. Editing video footage to make fan reactions seem like they're cheering or Roman Reigns or like being disappointed whenever he loses, and also the commentary team's spin about whenever the fans boo Roman Reigns, they're saying that they're just having fun or it's Bizarro World. Whereas the commentators don't acknowledge that, maybe most of the fans just don't like him. So that's one reason. My second reason is Roman Reigns' constant insistence on being the guy, aka by Vince McMahon, has had a negative effect on the booking of other wrestlers. For example, Braun Strowman, to a certain degree, Seth Rollins, and we'll go on from there. And then my third and final reason why I think Roman Reigns is not the guy is because of his forced push as the guy. There's not a natural evolution from the fans that's bestowed upon him compared to other stars. Like for example, with Daniel Bryan, fans were naturally inclined to cheer him on as the underdog everyman. Fans were naturally inclined to cheer CM Punk, but with Roman Reigns, it's forced and it's so obvious. So those are my 3 reasons right there, and I'll get into them in depth as the debate goes on.
Okay.
My
opening statement, first of all. Yeah. To be the guy is always a push that corporate gives you. It's always a push. I don't know why people think that you become the guy unless there's a push there. So when someone says the way they're being pushed, there's not one person who became the guy who didn't get a push. And as he said, he used Daniel Bryan. Well, Daniel Bryan actually did get a push. They made sure he beat Triple H, and then he won at WrestleMania. That was the push. Second of all, what I want to say is Roman Reigns was not booed until he beat Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. So he was not booed. He won Superstar of the Year in 2014. He was not booed. He was never booed, but the Daniel Bryan fans, who I'm not fans of because they ruin matches, decided booing him because they weren't happy, and then they booed everybody. People forget they booed Big Show, they booed Randy Orton, they booed Triple H, they booed. They booed Kofi Kingston and some female. I can't remember. I can't read that because I was late at night when I wrote that. Now, they all started changing. So Roman Reigns, to me, the reason why he is the guy is what he brings, which is viewership. Because every guy has to bring people in to watch. So part of it is that he brings something that no other wrestler is bringing, which is people to come and watch. Now, him being a middle or a gray guy, before he becomes the guy, or before he becomes the face, The Rock was a gray guy before he became the face. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a gray guy before he became the face.
Correct.
That happens. Now, Roman Reigns, to me, why he brings him to the next level is that he gets people to watch his match even when they don't like him. And that is something that other wrestlers are not doing and cannot do. Now, Roman Reigns had a bad, awful promo one time. This promo of sucker and succotash will live in infamy. Okay? But I can't remember his last bad promo. He's more himself now. So to me, to cut the short, because I'm getting into that, to cut the short, that he's the guy because he does everything else that the guys previously have done. He puts on great matches, he gets people to watch it, and he's being pushed. But when they say, for example, to rebuttal something, he said the commentary, they're supposed to say that. They said Bizarro World. I remember that. That was like 8 months ago. They don't say that now. They don't say that even when he was getting booed. He's not even getting booed now, probably because of the Shield. But he's not getting booed now. So, go.
Okay. Now, it's an interesting point you bring up of viewership and how Roman Reigns brings in numbers. I think this is very interesting because back in the September 12th, 2017 edition of Raw, Reigns during his promo, his feud with John Cena, Reigns said that he's had more great matches in 2 years than Cena has his entire career. A claim that has no basis in reality.
Nope.
He said that ticket sales are great, revenue is sky high, and WWE doesn't need John Cena. Now I find it interesting that he says that ticket sales and revenue is sky high because he said this in a week where WWE barely got 7,000 people in attendance for that episode of Raw in Anaheim, California. Yep. Now, in the arena that they did it in, it was the Honda Arena, which houses 18,000 people. Now, I've seen photos of people of fan photos of taking the pictures of the live Raw event. You had like the upper decks completely tarped off. Topped off, and then you had like the hard camera side where you had like rows upon rows upon rows of empty seats all across the board. So when he talks about having great revenue and big numbers, that's not exactly true. And also, SmackDown had barely 4,000 people in a Las Vegas show, which promoted the return of Vince McMahon. So it speaks to a larger problem. So it's not just Roman Reigns. This is a bigger problem with WWE, with which again goes back to their corporate spin, where Roman Reigns said that we got big viewership, we got big numbers, but yet it's not reflected in reality. It's not reflected in the live numbers. It's not reflected in like house show events either. So where's he getting his information from? Again, towing the company line.
Okay, you do know that Roman Reigns did not write that, right?
Well, of course.
They told him to say that. Do you know why they had him say it and not John Cena?
Because they're trying to make him the new face of the WWE.
Because him saying that, right? Because everyone talking about it, because they know the most watched, as I gave you the numbers, is when he's saying it. That's why. You're acting like he personally believes that. He was told to say that. Just like John Cena made insults about Roman Reigns that he doesn't believe because he was told to say that.
Yeah, it's a work shoot.
Yeah, so for you to say it and act, unbeknownst to anyone else, that like you act like he said it, the company line, they're all on the company line. So for you to act like Roman Reigns isn't like AJ Styles, the house that AJ Styles was SmackDown, right? But they can't get anyone in there, right? You just said it. So, but what does he say? What does AJ Styles say? He says
the house that AJ Styles built.
Yeah, he talks about all the great fans that are here and everyone that's there. And he used the word sold out 2 weeks ago, but you just gave me numbers to say that it's not sold out. So why did AJ Styles say, and why does anyone care that he said that?
The AJ Styles is a different example. That's his common catchphrase. It's just to get the fans hyped.
He brought up viewership. He said it was sold out house, but it wasn't sold out. It was not sold out.
Yeah, Roman Reigns brought that up on Raw.
So did AJ Styles 2 weeks ago. He said that it was sold out. His fans were chanting when he's talking to Baron Corbin 3 weeks ago. He said it was sold out. They all had it wasn't sold out. And he said how great SmackDown's doing, right? And Daniel Bryan, for example, says how great SmackDown's doing, how they're competing, but they're not competing.
Yeah.
They're getting killed by Raw.
Right.
But he brings it up. So they're all told to say that. Roman Reigns saying it isn't a work against him or for him. They all have to say it. They're all being told to say that. So how is that a work against Roman Reigns, I'm asking you?
Because if WWE was pulling out these great numbers and sold out arenas, then wouldn't that mean that Roman Reigns is a big reason why they're getting these big numbers, which they're not getting? So obviously, Roman Reigns must not be doing something right.
No.
To be getting these low numbers.
If they can only hit 3 million fans, right, and they only hit it when Roman Reigns is on, he's still hitting the number. It's the other guys who aren't. You get what I'm saying?
Talking about like viewership, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like if you go by sales of merchandise, right? You look at Roman Reigns. He was overall he was second since the last 3 years. He's second to John Cena, right? So he's doing his job. He's doing his job. Now the other wrestlers are not, which goes to my bigger point. Again, like I told you, when Roman Reigns comes on the TV, it gains about another 1 million people. So he is doing his job. So let's say you had 8,000 people in the stands. If 6,000 are for Roman Reigns, right, to boo or hate him, right, did he not do his job? He did a third of the people that you want there. You get what I'm saying? Is WWE itself is dying out from an essence of getting people in the building because their tickets are too high. Even after the first set of seats, they're just too high. They're up like 20% from 3 years ago, which is a lot of money. So to me I don't think that's a work against Roman Reigns. He said something that other wrestlers are told to say, how great everything is going, how everything's going. When Raw when after like 2004, what was it, 2006, when all the I knew you were going to bring this up because you brought it up last time. Where's it at? 260. So from 2006, the numbers went from 8 million to 6 million. Everyone was saying that everything's going great. We're doing great because they're told to say that. Because what is the other thing you would say? That they're doing bad? You have to act like everything's fine. That's how they act. Everyone acts like everything's fine. So even if it's not, that's more of an actual Vince McMahon type of conversation than like, why are we told to say that? But they're not in reality. They're not in reality. This is WWE. Everything's great. Everyone's doing fine. Fans are here to see me. Fans are here to boo me. So how does that, again, work against Roman Reigns? That's what I'm saying. He's hitting his numbers. I gave you his numbers. He's hitting his numbers. So the other wrestlers aren't. So isn't that more of a work against them? Doesn't it actually prove that he is the face because he hits his numbers?
But here's the thing. Okay, all right, I see what you're saying, but the corporate spin is still applies to Roman Reigns and our perception of him because, mind you, like I mentioned before in my opening statement, WWE has gone out of their way to an unusual degree to make it seem like he's getting cheered when he's not. You have like audio and video manipulation of footage to make it seem like the crowd's cheering for him or like the crowd mics being toned down.
Getting booed.
Really?
Yes. Google it.
What's the source?
Get it right now.
I pull up the source, but here's the thing: it's like in 2015 and even last year, 2016, WWE went to this unusual degree to make Roman hide fans' disapproval of Reigns, not just turning down the crowd mics, but also confiscating anti-Roman Reigns signs, also editing out anti-Roman Reigns signs on their live events for photos on their website, muting hostile crowds. The biggest example of the muting crowds is WrestleMania 32, when he was booed vociferously by the majority of that crowd in that arena. But then it was so muted that you didn't really hear it as well. It wasn't until you got like live accounts from the fans that said, "Oh yeah, he got booed out the building."
I have a question. Do they only do that for Roman Reigns? Have they been doing it before Roman Reigns got there?
Sure, they've done it for John Cena, but
not just John Cena. I'm about to play you a list of people.
But for Roman Reigns, but we're not talking about the other people. That's
what they do. So you're making it again sound like it's just a Roman Reigns thing. Your issue should be with the company, not Roman Reigns. What I'm saying is your debate is based on Roman Reigns. I'm showing you why your debate, your angst isn't for Roman Reigns. It's for the company because what they're doing, they've done for a multitude of people, and they do it all the time. They've done it for great people, low people. Fake cheers, fake pops, fake everything. They've been doing it. This video is from 2012. Another one's from 2010. Roman Reigns wasn't even there. They've been doing it this whole time. Your complaint of it is only for now for Roman Reigns. To me, that sounds like hate. To me, it does. To me, it does. And anyone else watching, if you complain about one person, but you haven't complained about anyone else they do it for, that would sound like hate. That would sound like you have found a way to disapprove what they're doing for Roman Reigns because you want to, because you haven't done that for anyone. Something inside of you telling you to do it because they've been doing it. I can see if your argument was, well, hey, they did this for Roman Reigns, but they did this for Sheamus too, or they did this for them, and I don't understand why they did. Your whole complaint is about Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but right now, what you're getting into is like, what aboutism? It's like, okay, what about John Cena and what about other people? We're not talking about, and that's a worthy discussion for those other people. But we're talking about strictly about Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns anything different is what I'm saying. Is that you're acting like they're finding a way. They do that for everybody. So it doesn't. You understand what I'm saying? Like your argument is it's based on Roman Reigns. I'm showing your argument's holes in it. Is that it's not just Roman Reigns. It's everybody. If they don't like the cheer or the pop you're getting, they manipulate. Well, they don't do it anymore, but they were doing it. I guess they haven't done it in like a year or whatever, but they were doing it for Roman Reigns. They absolutely were. They also were doing it for The Rock when The Rock was getting cheered when he was supposed to get booed with the Nation of Domination. It's the same thing. They don't want people hearing that because like fans, when you're out sometimes, I hate the yes movement. When I'm out and they do it, I do the yes thing because everyone else is doing it and my daughter loves it. But I don't like it. I like Daniel Bryan. I don't like his fans. But they try to stop people from doing that. So right now, when you hear them cheering for Roman Reigns, do I think they're cheering for him because they now love Roman Reigns? Or do they cheer for him because people started cheering for the Shield and now they've forgotten that he's not really with the Shield. He's just being Roman Reigns again. In the Intercontinental match, he's getting cheered. Because they can't separate it because fans just don't. They just do what they're told to do. So they cheer because other people are cheering. So there was people in there who loved the Shield. So they took over. And now, every time he comes out, he gets the biggest pop. It's so crazy. I post about it all the time. I'm like, wow, they love Roman Reigns again. They don't. I know they don't love him. I love him. I know they don't love him.
Obviously.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also know why it's happening, and I know why they do things they're doing. My argument, again, on why he's the face is that, again, his bad matches, right, are so few and far between. As much as we talk about wrestling, his Rusev match, his matches with AJ Styles were amazing. I loved his matches with AJ Styles.
Good one.
You know what I mean? Again, they let him retire the Undertaker, right? But then he takes losses to Braun Strowman. He takes, you know what I mean? Like, what other guy can actually eat these losses? Because you wanted to bring up Braun Strowman. He eats these losses. He has a losing record against Braun Strowman. He has a losing record against Braun Strowman. It's 3-4. So again, what other guy who isn't the face can do that?
Okay. You bring up you're bringing up Braun Strowman, and this speaks to my other point about how Reigns' constant push as the guy, the main eventer, like the next John Cena, has adversely affected the booking of other wrestlers. Braun Strowman is a good example in that. Yes, Reigns defeated Strowman this past March at Fastlane, I believe. Yeah,
was that the one where
He clean Wyndham.
He was
He's the only person to ever beat Braun Strowman clean. Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Reigns.
And then he lost to him. And then he lost on Raw.
Yeah.
Then he lost on Raw again.
Yeah. So Reigns defeated Strowman, so he became the first person.
What up, Brian?
He became the first person to successfully pin him in WWE.
Yep.
Now the match itself was a good contest. I enjoyed it, but it was actually a negative because him beating Reigns beating Strowman added nothing to Roman Reigns' reputation or his mystique.
He was about to fight the Undertaker. He needed. They sold.
And it was at Braun Strowman's expense because Braun Strowman was built as this unstoppable beast, and then once Roman Reigns beat him, then that just undid all the momentum Strowman had up until that point.
It didn't though.
And basically,
he's still considered an unstoppable beast. An unstoppable beast does still have to lose. That's the problem. Is that he still does have to lose, so you understand the dominance he does. So when he gets a bigger loss, it means something. Him losing didn't affect him. It helped Roman Reigns. It actually did help Roman because they brought it up the whole time when he was about to fight the Undertaker. That he just like, yo, should he even be in the ring with the Undertaker? Undertaker's coming back. Facts. That's what
I did.
But listen, and that's great.
I'm just biased. I'm an Undertaker fanatic.
But after he beat Braun Strowman, everything online. Oh my God, he just clean. And the reason why they made it clean was because people thought he was gonna win. They never thought it would be clean. So once he made it clean, it was everywhere. It was trending. Roman Reigns is yo, what's gonna happen with the Undertaker? Is the Undertaker really gonna lose on his last match? It led to him fighting the Undertaker, and that's what they did. They sold you on him fighting the Undertaker because it went from thinking people thought Undertaker was gonna win and retire So wow, he might lose to this
That's
guy.
what you should have done.
Well, and listen. There's a fair thing, but no one really goes out with a win.
No, I know that.
what I mean?
I know that.
What happened was it drew what it needed to for WrestleMania. So that's what I mean. Is it did do something. Braun Strowman right now is one of the hottest guys right now. Roman Reigns isn't even near the title picture, so he's not being shoved on us. He's not near the title picture.
Yeah, he's right where he needs to be.
Yeah. God. So wait, listen. He's where he needs to be. As what? Like, what does that mean?
Because right now, what's
Brock hurts Braun Strowman. My fault. That's what I want. Brock Lesnar is hurting Braun Strowman, not Roman Reigns. Because Brock Lesnar is champion who isn't there, and he just beat Brock. He just beat Braun Strowman clean. Now, the WWE doesn't bring it up, but they will when he fights Roman Reigns. They will bring it up. They will bring up every similarity that him and Roman Reigns have. But they're not bringing it up. And Braun Strowman had a good match against him, and he lost to an F5, one F5. But Braun Strowman isn't being affected. Everyone on WWE that's being affected is by Brock Lesnar. It's not by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns isn't even near the title picture. When was the last time? I have another question.
Not yet.
When's the last time Roman Reigns had a title before the Intercontinental title?
Before the Intercontinental?
Yep.
It was WrestleMania. No, not WrestleMania 32. It was the United States Championship this time last year.
Yes, a year. What other top guy goes a year fighting every day and doesn't have a title? He just puts people over. He's a top guy.
But here's the thing. I mean, with Roman Reigns as the United States champion, and this was back in the work shoot promo that John Cena brought up. Even though it was kayfabe, it was a legit point. He said that, when John Cena was the United States champion, he viewed it as a symbol of excellence. He was booked to with the U.S. Open Challenge, which had excellent scores of matches. But Roman Reigns took that same title and he was booked to make it look like a demotion.
It was
because when Roman Reigns came out, he thought so little of that title of the United States Championship that he came out with the strap, holding it at the very end of the strap, and with the title facing his back. There was even one point where Mick Foley was talking to him in the middle of the ring when he was commissioner, and then when Roman Reigns was talking, Mick Foley casually adjusted the belt on his shoulder.
Said it on the thing, but
because Roman Reigns thought so little. He's like, I'm above this mid. I'm Roman Reigns. I'm above this mid card shit. I'm above this mid card shit.
I have a question. Okay. So Kevin Owens didn't respect the title either, then, right? Because no one else is going to do what John Cena did. That whole him having those great matches was supposed to be for John Cena. That was John Cena's piece of the title. They never did that again. This open challenge when AJ Styles pretended to do it, he must have not cared about it either because he never really did it. And then when he just gave the title away after, how long was AJ Styles U.S. champion for?
How was it? Was it a couple of months?
About 2-3 months.
It was about a month and a half. So they didn't care. They only let the U.S. title cared for John Cena. That, again, is not Roman Reigns. Your issues with corporate. Your issue cannot be wrong. He didn't decide that. They didn't let him do the open challenge. John Cena didn't decide the open challenge. That wasn't even his idea. That was Chris Jericho's idea. And they just put it for John Cena to do it. They took Chris Jericho's idea and let John Cena do it.
But the difference is with John Cena's open challenge as a U.S. champion, we had some genuinely good matches, especially with Cesaro. With Roman Reigns, we had shit.
What does that relate to then? You think now John Cena putting on great matches? That's what they wanted. That was for John Cena. That wasn't for. And you can't give me great matches Kevin Owens had with the U.S. title. You can't give me great matches AJ Styles had with the U.S. title. Great matches. Great matches. Kevin Owens was an awful U.S. champ. Awful. He was an awful U.S. champ.
I'm thinking of the Intercontinental champ because I was going to bring up the Dean Ambrose match at Royal Rumble.
What I'm saying was it's only relevant now to John Cena. They put another notch on John Cena. Everyone else who had it now you think badly of, but now you think highly of John Cena. That's a work for John Cena. Again, it's not. It was never. If they let AJ Styles have it, you can't think of any good matches he had with it. Kevin Owens did. Reigns didn't have any good matches. It's all that was for John Cena. That you seem to just think that Roman Reigns got it and was like, yo, I'm gonna make this suck. He didn't do that. They wanted everything else behind it to be bad because now you associate greatness with that title with John Cena, and when he gets the 17th title, they're gonna bring up the open challenge again. They're going to make you think, like they say already, that he's the greatest champion we've ever seen. And how do you do that? You've got to give him stuff. Still, someone that you should be complaining about is John Cena because he gets everything, right? He still gets everything. And now he's going to get the 17th title probably at WrestleMania, and he'll get that. And Roman Reigns will probably beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He'll probably fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But
he will.
But
who's this?
What Roman Reigns will probably fight Brock Lesnar. But what Roman Reigns has to go through to get there, and what John Cena currently gets to do it's two different things. So when someone says he's 2.0, they're two different things. Roman Reigns has to take losses. Roman Reigns has to take John Cena does not have to take L's. He lost to Roman Reigns because they're putting Roman Reigns over. But what else? When does John Cena consistently have to lose to people like Braun Strowman, who doesn't have a title? And consistently he loses to Braun. He has a losing record against Braun Strowman. Samoa Joe, he has a losing record against. No one else can do that but Roman Reigns. Well, how is he not the face? You haven't disputed. Think about that. He has losing records to two people who have never been champion. And they're both hot. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns does that. So how again, it doesn't you haven't explained how he's not the face, because he can do stuff that only top guys can do. Strowman is as big as he is right now because of the stuff he went through with Roman Reigns. Samoa Joe started hot because they used it for 3 weeks that Roman Reigns couldn't beat him. Mm-hmm. Again, it's all Roman Reigns. It's all based on Roman Reigns. He's building other people and he's not even champion. What other person is doing that?
Carl, do you have any feedback on this?
I'm just saying. Gosh. I'm just saying.
I was a mediator. Listen, I stood as a mediator. Listen, I'm biased. He retired the Undertaker. That's my thing.
No, listen,
I am an
what
Undertaker
I'm saying.
fanatic. He retired him. I still to this day, I think Undertaker should have retired at WrestleMania 28 when him and Triple H had the end of an era.
Oh, that was my. I like that match more than the one with HBK.
With H, really?
I told you that. I did. I like that match more. I thought Undertaker was more himself in that match. Like, I don't know. I felt like he was.
I don't know. WrestleMania. Wait, 25 or 26 HBK.
26.
25
was the best one.
25 was the best.
25 was the best.
25 was the best WrestleMania match ever.
20. No.
Yes.
25. I can't say that. I don't know if it was. It might be. No, because you know why? I felt like that match. How do I put this?
That match told story. That match.
I felt
told the story.
I felt like the lead up to that match with him being evil and Shawn Michaels being good and being. I felt like the lead up was just corny. And then I felt like the match was good, but I felt like the lead up hurt it. I felt like the 26 lead up was great, and the match wasn't as good as 25. Does that make sense?
No, I know.
You know what I mean? I felt like
what you mean.
they made the Undertaker not even be a heel, though. He wasn't even the heel.
They didn't need to be here.
But he was the devil. That's what.
Regardless, he was an anti. Undertaker's he's an anti-hero.
And that's why he should have been. That's why. But the reason why they didn't redo it again,
they didn't need to be
well. It didn't do well. That's why the second time around was more about Shawn Michaels trying to get his moment, trying again. And Undertaker's like, I'm not fighting you again. Like, there's no need for me to fight you again. I felt like the Triple H lead up was amazing. I felt like that was Triple H just I'm gonna beat you. Like, you're not better than me. This is with a real error, because again, Triple H is in most circles a top 10 wrestler. He just
I can't. I do not argue that at all.
And everything he's done. So that was a great lead up. I love that match. And maybe I like Triple H more than HBK, so I'm biased to that. Trying not to be, but I'm probably biased. I do like Triple H more than HBK because HBK screwed Bret Hart, and Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler. So like that always.
Yeah, it's a bias. That's why I hate. That's why I hate Roman. Roman retired. He shouldn't have been done it. You want to know who the person should have been to retire Undertaker at 30 when the streak ended, to end the streak and retire Undertaker?
Don't say CM Punk.
No,
I love CM Punk, but he shouldn't have been the one.
I love CM Punk too. He was gonna be my Undertaker replacement.
But who should have been?
Sting. The two pillars
couldn't get Sting to do it
at that time, which was unfortunate, but he should have been to do it. The two pillars, the dream match that
Sting's
everybody
first match should have been to retire the Undertaker. No, that's what's for
the
Undertaker.
The two pillars.
Wait, was Undertaker gonna win or lose? If you have him losing, that's a really bad sell.
I think he should have been the one. I would have been all for Undertaker winning. Because I'm an Undertaker fan.
I'm okay with him.
Undertaker should have been. He should have retired with an undefeated streak.
No,
I know old school rules. You go out looking at the lights.
Every streak has to go out. Every streak, because you need new streaks. And
correct.
Eventually,
but to retire the streak,
like Triple H, they're going to have another streak at Wrestle. Like, eventually, they'll have somebody.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, but Undertaker should have had his. He could be the first one. And that's it.
He didn't even want that, though.
No, he didn't. I know. Undertaker wanted the streak to end like years ago. He wanted Mark Henry to end the streak.
At the time, he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But he thought Mark Henry was going to be like this.
Yeah, this big guy. And Mark Henry stayed mid-card.
No, he just said, yeah. That's
but the two pillars.
But you got to remember, again, another thing. he chose Roman. It's not like Roman chose himself.
Yeah, I know Roman didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Brock didn't even want to do it.
I know Brock didn't. So you get what I'm saying? Like Undertaker was like, I think Roman should do it, and him and Vince talked about it, and you know what I mean. They couldn't decide if they were gonna make John Cena, and he's like, I don't think Cena needs it. And again, I always
Roman
had
didn't need it.
But it does. It adds to legacy. See, you guys.
It adds to legacy. Don't get me wrong.
Legacy building is
you're
a
right.
thing.
You're right.
So
it adds a legacy, but he did not need the rub.
No. But if that's the only guy that you know is going to be here in 10 years, is Roman Reigns. You know he'll be here in 10, 12, 15 years. You couldn't give it to Bray Wyatt when Bray Wyatt can't even keep fighting. I'm honestly, I don't know if Bray Wyatt's going to be here. He gets hurt. He gets hurt every other month. Every other month he gets hurt. I cannot tell you that I'm for sure that Bray Wyatt will be in WWE in 5 or 10 years. I just can't because he's always hurt. You need to know someone who's a consistent workhorse, consistently does it, and can be do it. Also in our debate, Victor, I beat you.
Listen.
Just so you know, I love your speech.
I'm gonna be honest.
Times.
Listen, I've been paying attention to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they threw in the towel for you. Probably about 15 minutes.
And I never
ago.
once had to call Roman Reigns the best thing. Next time you do debate Roman Reigns, never focus. You got to focus on what they're not doing with him, never on what they are doing with him. Just so you know, it's what they're not doing. Hey, you know why Intercontinental was a good thing for him being because he can't be the world title. Why wouldn't you use that in your argument? The only reason why he's the Intercontinental champion is because he can't be the world champion. Because Brock Lesnar's the world champion. So they had to give him a title because he's about to make a run.
Well, because we all know WrestleMania 34's main event is going to be him and Lesnar.
So why wouldn't you have said that? Why wouldn't you have brought up the Intercontinental title, saying that literally that they're telling us right now they're setting the path now. He's now going to add when Brock says he's been champion here, and here. Roman Reigns is like, I'm a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like everything has to be equal for him and Brock Lesnar for them to fight. Now, the craziest thing is that there's no way they thought he'd be getting cheered in one-on-one matches. He is now. I don't know if he can be cheered till WrestleMania, but I'm almost sure he will not be in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to say that right now. I'm almost positive because he'll get booed.
Yeah.
And when he beat Sheamus for the title that year, he got cheered, and they ruined him by making him be in other matches. You've got to keep. He's being chaired now. They want him to be chaired, but I don't think they're 100% for. They don't care. I really genuinely believe they do not care if he's being chaired. I think they just want it to be.
They want reaction.
Yeah, they want reaction. The fact that he got chaired, standing ovation, Seth and Dean ran there was crazy. They probably like that more. Mm-hmm. Eventually, Brock's going to be a heel. They're going to try it. They're eventually going to try to get Brock to be a heel. Mm-hmm. I don't know when, but they have to if they can get Roman to be chaired because it sells better. So it sells better if he gets in a match and he goes down there, he attacks the Shield for some reason, and you know. But it's hard to get him booed because Suplex City is a cheering thing. Yeah. When he suplexes somebody, they cheer. Remember, I mean, you got to remember when Undertaker was fighting Brock, they tried to get Undertaker to be a heel, and it didn't work. Sometimes it's hard to get the fans to do what you want. They had Undertaker kick him right in the balls, and people still cheered. That was crazy. I was like, what the hell is Undertaker doing?
I cheered.
Yeah,
I hate it. I hate it because it's not Taker.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not
Taker. That's why I wanted to boo. And that's why I wanted to boo. But I'm just
like I said, I'm just that hardcore of a fan.
I understand that. I was just hoping that the fans would have went along with it because they probably would have had a better thing with it.
Damn.
What up, Chris?
Anything else? Yeah.
You know Chris J. Dre? He said, "What's up?"
Oh, what up, Chris?
Well, I had mad. Look, I got mad.
Good look. Yeah, look back. You're gonna wait till you look back on this chat.
I can't wait to look at these comments. Yeah. I told you what I was gonna do to you. I told you how it was gonna happen. Sometimes people need they need to be taught. I hope I can come back on the show. We could debate something else, something that you feel stronger about than Roman Reigns, because you never beat me in a Roman Reigns debate. But maybe you'll let me pick a debate that I have an issue with some things you do, and then we'll go from there. We'll find some strengths. So I love this, and I'm hoping that the numbers match up and the views and everyone's there because you guys.
Well, we got Roy. Well,
because you guys.
Our next weekend will be Roy Rumble.
Listen.
Well,
you down to come back for Roy Rumble?
You already know.
All right. Here we go. We got it.
To be determined. I'm gonna.
When you lose, you don't want to just agree to nothing.
I'm gonna say that. Okay, yeah. My main issue is with WWE corporate and their booking. I think it sucks a lot of the time. I think a lot of talent, they get short shafted a lot.
Who do you think is being short shafted the most? I wanted to ask you that before you get in. Who do you think right now?
The cruiserweight division.
Oh, besides the cruiserweight division,
It's too much. Like that's the whole division. I'm being like, name a wrestler that you feel like right now is just not. I don't think it has to be champion. That you feel like it's just getting the wrong end of the stick.
I'd say Finn Balor.
I was gonna say that. Unless he gets Brock Lesnar, I was not a big Finn fan. And I was in NXT when he came up, I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see you become champion. No. I'll tell you why Shinsuke's not. Shinsuke is going to be champion. He's the only one who could afford to lose agenda. That was a help agenda. Shinsuke's following. I've never seen him go into a building and have everybody cheer for him. Like no one boos. Like no one boos Shinsuke Nakamura. The fact of the matter is that he could take the loss to Jinder and it helped Jinder a lot. Like it really helped Jinder, and that's crazy that a champion had to be put over by a guy who's never been champion. But all Shinsuke's losses, only 2 losses are to Jinder. I don't count the Survivor Series as a loss, but he only has 2 losses, and they're both to Jinder. He's never been pinned, he never submitted. I think that he will be champion after WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure. I would like to see him beat John Cena. I think that would be dope after the 17th, because then. But I think Shinsuke needs a long run, and I'm afraid John Cena's going to be back for a year, so he'll probably be champion for almost a year.
Yeah, I would say like because I know they're low key trying to build like Nakamura and Styles, so maybe they'll have like their match at WrestleMania for the title. Have Shinsuke go over, have the title for a while, and then I wouldn't mind John Cena going over Shinsuke.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah. I know they want to make that a thing, AJ and Shinsuke. I know that they have talked about doing a 3-man match with Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. Because then you really don't know who's going to win that match. But there's no way Roman Reigns would lose that. It just wouldn't make sense. He already beat John Cena. He has to pin Brock Lesnar. He has to defeat. Now again, Brock Lesnar was supposed to go back to UFC. You remember that he was supposed to leave.
He was supposed to fight John Bone Jones.
Yeah, he's supposed to leave in April. Now he's not because he's fed like that. So it's a little different because he's probably going to re-up with WWE again.
Yeah.
How does that go? He can never go back. He can't be a mid card. You know what I mean? He has to be in the title picture. I'm hoping. Again, as the last hooray, if he loses to Roman Reigns, is he actually loses multiple matches to him. That, to me, if he's going to stay, would make the most sense for Roman Reigns. He cannot beat him for the title and lose to him. It's the same reason why he cannot fight The Undertaker at Royal Rumble. Everyone's saying he's going to fight he would have to lose. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like when Undertaker comes back, he should not fight Roman Reigns. But the only reason he'd come back would be to fight Roman Reigns. And why would he come back to lose again? And that's where I'm scared that WWE wants money. Even though their revenue is actually thorough with their program and everything, they're actually doing well. But I'm just hoping that they don't let him come back and fight Roman Reigns just to beat Roman Reigns. Who does that help? That doesn't help anyone. And it won't even be a good match because the other match wasn't the best match. So who does that? Like I think Undertaker is going to come back in January. Yeah. I'm hoping he just comes back and he talks and he just don't set up a WrestleMania match for somebody, please.
Yeah, I think Undertaker, the way he went out was perfect.
I think that was one of the most perfect.
I swear you got I swear you took a picture.
What?
When we watched Undertaker.
Oh, I didn't take a picture. I really didn't. I would have showed it to you if I did.
I literally died inside.
But yeah. So yes. I will say, like I said, at the end, just to reiterate what I said at the very beginning to wrap this all up. At the end, I'm not a Roman Reigns hater. I just hate the booking of WWE corporate. So yeah, to your point, Adrian, my beef is more to the WWE corporate side than Roman Reigns himself. I kind of realize that. So I do realize that. So I will take the L like a man. So now,
my man, Victor,
I will take the L in this debate.
Victor,
and
tune into the I am gonna start. I do need to remember though to promote you guys more. I really do have a lot of friends who watch wrestling, and a lot of them tuned in. I've literally got a lot of messages. My friend Ezra right now is messaging me, making fun of us for arguing about wrestling. But I've had at least about 12 people, and I feel like. I watch a show. I always catch it like in the. That's why you see comments when you wake up at 3 a.m. That's like I have. That's something that I'm gonna try to just promote it more. I feel like you guys have a really good show and you guys do more than wrestling. And I feel like if people knew that and like just gave your show a chance, they would be thoroughly entertained. You guys are good. You guys are good together.
Oh, thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
You appreciate it.
Well, let's get on. Wait, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, Carl, to Carl and all the Cowboys fans, I know how you feel now. So thank you.
Yo, that is fire. Listen,
I had to say it.
man.
I had to say
how he
it.
thought of that so quick, but
Had to
that
say
is
it.
Because
fire.
he's known me for years.
Listen, no,
He's
but
known
that
me
was
for
quick
years,
to end
dude.
like that. That is fire. I know how you guys.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm taking this out. I'm wearing the jersey. Shout outs to Donnell and the Party Nerds. Listen, he accepted, and I'm taking the L. But on that note, let's move on to question of the week. Last week's question of the week was, what was your first gaming console?
Nintendo Mario.
The classic
Mario
NES.
1.
Yep.
And I beat it when I was 4 years old. My dad was. I've never seen somebody more proud of somebody.
Wow.
At 4 years old, I beat Mario, which is like 9 worlds, and I beat it. And my dad, like, I think he was gonna cry. Like, he came in there one night. It had to be like 12 at night, and I was playing. I was like the last level, and I kept dying. So I got the axe, man. I was like, yo, just don't get hit. Like, I was freaking out at 4 years old, and I beat it. My dad hugged me. And I was like, yo. He was like, you're so good at this. I was like, they didn't have gamers then, and the next time I remember being that proud.
But you're a PS4 guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a PS4.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your gamer tag.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll exchange gamer tags later. Yeah.
All right. So on the Facebook, we got from Nick Witrini. NES was my first. It was my mom's, and she told me she let me play when I was very good. And I'm not sure if it was 3. I'll have to ask, but I remember Mario 3, Duck Hunt, Kirby, Zelda, and my unfavorite Zelda 2, Link's Adventure. I think it was called. Eddie also says the NES with Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt with the game that
I love Duck Hunt.
When it came with 2 games in one, and the gun. Oh yeah, and the gun. I actually had 3. I had the 3-pack that had Mario, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet, and I had the Power Pad. If you remember that.
Oh, the power pad. It was like a twister.
It was just a big. It was like a Big Mac, and it had like 12 buttons.
Yeah.
And you can just like race on it or do dance or whatever. So we just raced. I mean, we couldn't really play it because we lived on the 2nd floor at the time. But then we ended up moving to our 1st floor, and it was on.
Yeah.
Okay, my cousin Antoine said Atari. I did have an Atari. My father said I had an Atari, but I'm too young to remember.
I don't remember that either.
What is? So okay, Latifah says Nintendo. Freddie says Nintendo. And then Jason Salinger says it wasn't listening to the meme, but the Sega Master System.
Wow. That's vintage.
Wow, that is. I used to love Sega, man, too. Damn.
Let me see. Steven Cabrera says he said it was a Nintendo, but why isn't Atari or Commodore 64 represented? I did have a Commodore 64, by the way.
Damn.
Ramblings with Rob said it wasn't listed, but I guess he means an Atari. The FMK show was Sega. Cousin Rick, I think I remember him saying he had a ColecoVision.
What?
A ColecoVision.
Jesus. That's as old school as it gets.
Oh yeah, you can't get more old school than that. Jessica Concussion says in the original Nintendo. Swab Richardson says in the Nintendo, and Shamal the Realist said, which is number 8, a PlayStation 2. Oh, he must be young. So this week's question of the week, we're gonna keep it wrestling.
All right.
Old school versus new school. What is your dream tag team match?
Dream tag team match.
Old school versus new school.
So it's like 2 teams, like one old school versus new school tag?
One old school team versus a new school versus
Okay.
a current tag. Versus a current tag team.
I would say the Revival versus Ole and Arn Anderson.
And the original Anderson brothers.
Yeah.
Damn, that's old. You're talking like 80s, man. Early 80s.
Yeah, because like the Revivals, they're pretty much like the modern day
I would
homage
at
to
least
them.
put them with the Brain Busters, which was Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Oh, with them too. Yeah.
What you got, Adrian?
That's so old school, man. I was gonna do Bret Hart and Owen Hart. I love them.
Gabe Jackson says the Revival versus the Dudley Boys. Would you consider the Dudley Boys old school? They
not
had
yet.
that recent run.
Not yet. Maybe in another 10 years, maybe.
Yeah. All right, mines would be. I actually had like 3. I actually came up with 3.
Okay.
All right, the first one would be the Road Warriors versus Authors of Pain.
Paul Ellering. Yeah.
The second one will be the Usos versus the Head Shrinkers.
Okay.
a little family thing. It might as well actually be a 6-man tag team cruiserweight match.
Okay.
Old school would be Brian Pillman, Jushin Thunder Liger, and young Rey Mysterio versus TJP, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali.
Okay. Interesting.
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my top 3 cruiserweights.
Yeah. So how about you?
got one?
What's your pick or
Yeah,
picks?
like I said, I was gonna do Bret Hart and Owen. Is that even old school enough? I just miss seeing them. Like I miss the old Hardys. Like I grew up when I grew up watching wrestling. I used to watch with my brother, and we always were like, I'm Bret Hart, like I'm Owen Hart, and I'd be like, I'm Jeff Hardy, he'd be like, I'm Matt Hardy, and that's it. Like the Dudley Boys, we would do that. And if I could just, there's just so many. There's so many teams. Go.
No, I was saying.
No. There's so many teams from old school who I feel like when they bring up. Let's say they bring up the Hardys or the Dudleys, like they don't bring, like I feel like they remember them now. They don't even look back to what they were and what got them so big and what got them so much. Like I missed the old Hardys when I forgot what game that was. It was like SmackDown. It was like the first, and he would do the Swanton bomb off the top, and it was crazy. Like your energy level would just drop, and I don't know. I always wanted to see, like I always wanted to see them in like a type of hardcore match with like a recent team to see how people would battle. Like to me, it was never like what team, like when you thought of it, I thought of the Hardys, and I thought about like a hardcore match, like a straight like maybe a table match against somebody new, but who would it be?
Ooh,
Like, who would set off a match against them?
All right, well, Gabe Jackson, he said that he would replace Ali with Tozawa for my 6-man cruiserweight tag match. But then Eddie says the Steiner brothers versus the Bar.
That's fire. Tell him
The Steiners are one of the most greatest tag teams ever. One of them. I wouldn't say the greatest tag teams ever was the Road Warriors, hands down.
Okay.
But China versus Ember Moon,
Well,
I don't see that.
I love Ember Moon.
Oh, I love Ember Moon too. That's one I can't see. But the Steiners are very underrated. Because Scott Steiner is blackballed by the company.
Deservingly.
But but the Steiners were a very, very underrated team.
yeah. They won both the WCW and WWE tag team titles, right? Or WWF, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WWF.
Yeah.
Everyone Vince McMahon said I've never lost a legal battle, but then he lost that one. So
Yeah.
I mean, they just say stuff. They just say stuff they don't want you to remember.
True.
He lost his name to his company, but
So you can't come up with a tag team.
I can't. That's more on you guys. I really can't think of. Like I said, I'd rather see I was thinking a table ladder share match as soon as you said it with the old school Hardy Boys against somebody right now, and who would it be like? Like I don't think I'd want to see Seth and Dean in it. So
Usos.
perfect. That would actually love to see the
suggestion.
Usos against them. What if I can make that happen? Not now, clearly, but like in a system. Wow, that would actually be really. If the Usos are who they are now, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't go like you go back to the 80s and 90s. I'm just more recent with the.
I grew up on this, so like
Nah, I know.
I can go back.
Word. So, yeah, anything else?
I'm good on my end.
All right. So, yeah, Adrian, thank you so much for coming back to the
happy
show.
to be here, man.
Yeah. And thank you all for tuning in and watching. Be sure to tune in next Saturday, December 2nd. Come out
Don't even tune in. Just come out.
Yeah, for
What's Saturday?
episode 100.
Next Saturday, episode 100 at Rock Coco's.
Yes. Yep. Down the
That's
street.
yours.
Yeah. So yes, next Saturday, December 2nd, 2017, from 1 p.m.
Just told me this like a week ago. I got off work.
But yeah, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, December 2nd is going to be our 100th episode live from Rococo's. So we're going to be on Facebook Live. For any of you watching or in the area, please come down, support us, join in on the conversation if you want. And we'd love to have you there. We'd love to have you show your support. And thank you all so much for tuning in and just watching us and, just having a good time along with us, man.
And breaking news, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan just debuted on SmackDown.
Okay, in that case, I will turn the TV on right now. And
They're really treating us like after WrestleMania.
yeah,
They brought Paige back, man.
Yeah, they did.
yeah. So
Cheers.
yeah, man.
And are beating down everyone.
Yeah, I see it right now as we speak. So with that, We will catch you on the flip. This has been episode 99. We thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you next week, next Saturday for episode 100. So, peace out, nerds.
Later.
Peace.